Hello? Hello? Yeah. Hello? Hello? Hello, everybody. Miss Ronnie Q, the sound is out. Oh, I gotta come.
And thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you, Miss View. I'm glad I dropped my link early. Okay, so I am minding my business, had no intention on going live today, because I put forth my content, things that I think about, things that I take note on. See, I don't hit people's link and try to pontificate on things that absolutely make zero sense. So this is the second time that I have done this. Uh, the first person was Beasley, who could not hit any panels, any links, anywhere, and I would do him a favor of letting him hit my link and try to keep him in the realms of the content of what we're talking about. So then here comes Miss Things hitting the link on the debate and thought that she was going to talk about how universal health care and housing would help combat addiction. And I let her give several tries. She continued to act, of, act as if she had a point to get out about socialized medicine. Socialized medicine is not going to keep people off of drugs. See, these flighty types of answers which did not drill down on what was going to be done, because just because you have socialized medicine does not mean that anyone is going to get off of drugs. Let's be clear. So I'm minding my business, and then I get a word that this heifer is playing my live on her channel, because she wants to act as if she's the smartest crayon in the box, and she is totally just a broken bunch of. Where's those crayon shavings that you have of you as a view?
Oh,
She
let me
is
get him.
totally.
Hold on, let me get him. Go ahead.
She is totally a bunch of crayon shavings that has no want to sit on here and talk like, oh, I know something about socialized medicine, and I want to talk about things on the right. I want to talk about progressive issues. Like she is the only, like she's a black unicorn. um hey, beans and cornbread, of views of you. Hey, Shady Blue. Okay, like she is a, yes, this is what she amounts to. You are no black unicorn. You are not the only black person who knows about progressive issues. You are not the only black person who knows about socialized medicine. And then she sits over there and lies about the context. Oh, you got plenty of shavings. She got big eyes. You may need some more shavings. Yeah. Yeah, put a few more shavings out for them big eyes. Okay. So um let me see who else is. Blackberry molasses, beans and cornbread. Dr. Lashonia, thank you for being here. Um, let me see. I spoke to Liz. Okay, M. Renee, Tay Bay for Forever 17. Thank you for being here. Yaya, thank you for becoming a new member. Fact, who the hizzo? Who the hizzo? Hello, good and evil. Um, yeah. I do have a mod in here. Hey, Southern girl, how are you doing? Okay, Carolina Blue, what's going on? Cold Peace Zaza. Zaza. Cold Peace Zaza. Hello. Okay, Reese, Taylor Made, Reese, Taylor Made. I love I love all titles with hoes. Hey, is this you good for good and evil?
Hey, Ronnie Q, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine. I just had to make sure that was you because I forgot to put the banner up.
Oh yeah, it took me a minute. It took me a
It's,
minute to log in. I don't want to derail, so I'll wait to see what the topic is.
my
Hello.
topic my topic is that old bug-eyed heifer over there playing my content.
Bug Eye. Who?
Miss Thang.
Bison. Oh,
No,
Miss
Miss
Thang. Oh,
Thang.
what her? Oh, really? Oh
Yeah.
man.
Hey,
I
Again?
thought I might have liked her.
I
Really?
thought I might have liked her too. And
No.
now she's over there lying and playing victim, talking about I'm going to play her content now. Since one good turn deserves another, I will
Right.
play her content. The
I'm
bitch
going.
that
I'm
over
going to.
there.
I'm going to my computer. The boys are gone. I'm home by myself, and my husband is in the country. I'm about to go to the computer. It'll be better for me to see what's going on anyway. But
I
anyway,
love your,
really?
I love your
Wow.
avatar. Yeah.
Who, me? Mine?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, I always keep Beyonce.
I love it. Go.
I'm part of the hive.
Yes.
Yes, yes, she is part of the hive. Hey, K-Fit, focus on you. Hey, Gucci girl. That's right, Ronnie Q. Womp, womp, womp. Fuck them and womp, womp, womp. Teach her not to play your stuff. Hey, hey, Lex. Hey, fan. Okay, Dr. Soapy, it's good to see you. She's over there with a total 20 something people over there playing my content, lying, and all stuff.
Mm.
What happened was, okay, so we were talking about we watched the debate, and then so after the debate we were talking about different things that we heard or would like to have heard, or you know what struck you about the debate. And then here she comes on with we said that neither of the candidates gave an answer about what they well, Donald Trump really never answered about what he do about the addiction problem. And so I did talk about the Supreme Court ruling that did not allow for I think it's, oh, what is the, I forget the name of the family, the specific family who was sued uh, and had to pay billions of dollars because they were part and parcel of the problem with the opioid problem. But they're in bankruptcy and they wanted to make a settlement. Somebody got feedback.
It's me. Hold on. Let me mute.
Just mute. Okay, so they wanted to do a settlement where they would have to pay no future addicted people any money. I'm gonna put you on mute right quick. You can come off whenever you get your situation straight. So we talked about that, and then here she comes up with, "Well, I think that the problem would be, socialized medicine, and giving people houses and universal medicine." Well, exactly how will universal medicine solve the addiction problem is the question. Well, if you let me talk, okay, I'm gonna let you talk. But she thought I was gonna let her talk forever and not answering the question. She thought that I was gonna sit up here and let her pontificate. The question was, what were they gonna do about the addiction problem? Then she goes into housing, and if everyone could get stable housing, and then if everyone, the mental ill, they need housing too. And excuse me, but that has nothing to do with it. There's housing right now for people with low money. There's Section 8, and they're the projects. And one of those, the worst things that those government housing has never been the solution. Government housing is the reason why Black fathers were not allowed to stay in the home, because they were living in government housing. Okay, so you also have government housing that if you get a marijuana charge, that you can no longer live in government housing. You can't even get a student loan. You're talking about government housing being the answer to addiction. If you get a marijuana charge, you can't even live in government housing. So she thought she was coming up here teaching us something, sounding like a utter blabbering idiot, and never got to the question. So it was at some point, I interjected. Some points Olivia interjected, but she thought that she was just going to come on my panel, over talk me, and I invited her to step down. I was not rude to her. I invited her to step down. At one point, I did say we can agree to disagree. But at the point where she thought that she was just going to keep droning on a point like she is the only person who knows anything about universal health care, you're not going to come up here and think you're teaching me something that I already know about. She's talking about, okay, so let me I didn't even hear exactly what she had been talking about because I came in at the point that she was actively playing my stuff. So let's hear what this dodo bird had to say. Okay, so let me find it. Let me find it. The actual gall of some of these people to sit up and then when I'm telling her to stop playing my stuff, she stops playing it. Well, I can take it down. Well, it seems like you're in your emotions. Well, and you don't have to say the same thing over and over to me a million times. So when I got there, she was saying that I was running around complaining about what she said on my panel. I never mentioned her as if she was so important to actually be talked about. I never said anything about her being on my panel, but she's sitting up saying that I was talking about her and I did this. I never mentioned her appearance on my panel. Bitch, it was not all that. Like, what were you to mention but a babbling idiot? I asked you to step down, and that was it, and that was all. But see, you want to, oh, well, you're so emotional. You're emotional enough to come to make a whole lie, tell a whole lie that I disgust you. Like, girl, who is emotional behind this situation? You didn't know anything that you were talking about, and you tried too hard to act like you were smart, and you're an absolute idiot. So, and speaking of absolute idiot, she got there's what's her name? I didn't know who it was because of course I have this idiot block. You have Brooke Valentine in the chat. Now Brooke Valentine is sitting up there telling her, oh no, you can play her stuff. What happened for Good and Evil? Good and Evil, come back. Y'all dropped me. We didn't drop you. Okay, I thought I pinned the link. Okay, let me pin the link.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she switched over to her desktop, so it probably knocked her out. But yeah, is the link there?
Okay. I'm a pin it. I didn't have it pinned at first. Oh, wait a
Okay,
minute. Okay, hold on 1 second.
okay,
I
I
got
see it.
to
Is this
I got
poll free Saturday? We ain't got no polls. Okay, never
no,
mind.
this is I'm gonna trust you guys to hit the like button Saturday without any extra prompting. Can you guys please hit the like button? I would greatly appreciate it. Okay, so let me do one more thing. She didn't hit the link. Okay. Let me close some of these tabs out first of all.
I know
Okay.
sometimes I look up and I have like 95 tabs open. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm closing some out too. Well, good
Okay.
morning. Anyway, I know you just came in with girl. Well, good morning, Miss Ronnie Q.
Morning, Miss Pam. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't have any edibles right now, but I'm going to run out after this and go get me some.
Oh Lord.
I can be ready.
What type of supply are you gonna get today? How many are you gonna buy?
I'm just going to buy one $60 60 items. 60 it's supposed to
Six,
last a month. Yeah, one in the morning
60
and one at
pieces?
night. Yeah,
Okay. Well,
allegedly.
allegedly,
Yeah.
child, you are
Well,
something else with your
we're
edible.
legal here, so I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm sitting here minding my business, eating my edibles, talking shit. Okay. And I'm
Now,
happy.
did you guys see that link drop again?
I saw it drop. I did. I don't see it pinned though. Let me see. Let me look up
Okay.
again. Yeah, I did see it drop again. Hold on. Okay, so I see you turned it on subscriber only. Yeah, just the pin thing. I think then would be
Okay,
good.
let me pin it. Let me pin it right now.
All
Okay,
right.
and we're gonna get back to this. Hudson J. Okay, I want to read a couple of these comments too.
Okay, I'm going on
Um,
mute. All right.
okay, for good and evil, I'm about to bring you up. Okay, so let's get this together. For good and evil, that's you. I don't hear you for good and evil. You're on mute. You're on mute for good and evil. For good and evil, you're on mute. Is that for good and evil?
I can't even see a picture or anything, so I don't know.
He's like, all I see is some
All these flabby bat wings and shit. The fuck?
crabby arms. Okay.
Hey, Shady Blue. It's your messy ass. Not bug out here. There's a whole lot of
Yeah,
cameras.
big back Brooke there. Of course, you'd be in another chat room with somebody who has 20 something people lying and telling them that they can play someone else's content because neither you hoes actually are able to actually build your own content. Good Nevo, is that you? Are you there? I don't hear you.
Hey,
Okay.
BJ.
Okay, let me see what you're saying. The government can pay private rehab prices for those who really want to get off opiates, but if they are playing around, they gotta go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hear you now. Okay, I can remove this. Okay, so yeah, that's what we were talking about. Um, let me see what some more of these comments are. I've already wiped my paws at the door, ma'am. Beans and cornbread. Uh, Shifting teeth and low stomach. Who has shifting teeth and a low stomach? Who has shifting teeth and a low stomach? Oh my God.
It's a
I'm
lot of candidates for that. Maybe like 9 people. I don't know which one.
So,
okay.
Ronnie Q, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I hear you now. I hear you now. Go ahead. Are you talking now? Because I heard you say, "Can you hear me now?" And that's all I heard. Okay, we're gonna let her work her sound out. Okay, she has to do
Okay.
the
So,
talking.
Ronnie Q, how did
I
that happen? How did this happen with Miss Things?
Okay, so what happened was I let her up on the panel to talk about the debate, and after a moment of her takeover spirit, trying
Hold on,
to.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. It's like we having all these side conversations.
Oh, I don't hear anything else in the background. Pam is on mute, and it's only you and I.
What's going on?
I don't know. Pam is on mute. It's just you and I. Do you have your other window open?
And also make sure that red ball is all the way towards the end of the screen, like to keep current, because sometimes it'll look like we're in the middle of it. Because I've done that before. You hop on and you hop on at the point that you end it. So make sure that little red ball line is all the way at the end for the current conversation. I've done that before. I'm going back on me.
Okay, good. Now, because it was a lot of conversations going on. So, Ronnie Q, okay, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you good. There's no other conversation going on.
Right.
Eh,
Yeah.
Are we together now? Are we together now for good and
She needs
evil?
to move the red ball all the way to the end of the
Hey,
tab.
because everybody else mute other than Ronnie Q.
She was on mute. She's on mute. She's on mute.
Then why am I hearing all these other conversations?
Listen, is your YouTube volume down on your YouTube? Is that open? Is the volume up on your YouTube? Turn the volume off. If you have your YouTube window open, turn the volume off on YouTube. She dropped down. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay.
can we talk about Shefty dumbass saying she's going to bring her dog to Vegas? The dog is very old. The dog is not a working animal, a seeing eye dog or a medical dog. Support dogs are allowed on a flight with the owner. However, you're going to have to pay the same price as you would if it was just a regular house pet, which that dog is just a regular house pet because they do not recognize support animals. And this is I don't know why any number of lives or any number of discussions even need to be had about this, because that's just the simple fact, and that's just how airlines work. We discussed that, airlines charge between $100 and $200 for your pet to fly in the plane with you, and if the carrier cannot fit under the seat, and the carrier has to be big enough for the dog to stand up and turn around, and if that carrier cannot fit under the seat, you will have to pay cargo prices for the dog to go in the cargo hold. For good and evil, can you hear us now? You're on mute. You're on mute, for good and evil.
Yeah, I hear y'all now. I'm on my computer, so I'm trying to figure out. Can you hear me now?
I hear you fine. Can you hear us fine?
Yeah,
Okay. So how now you wanted to know how did exactly what happens.
yeah, I hear y'all fine now.
Okay, so you
Okay,
wanted
I'll be back, Johnny Q. I'll be back. I gotta go get something. I'll be back.
okay. Okay, so you wanted to know how we got into this conversation for good and evil? I think for good and evil got a delay. I don't know what's going on with for good and evil. Okay, so yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the dog's paws would have 30-degree burns walking uh, on that hot pavement in Vegas. I don't see her carrying that dog around in a any type of dog carrier unless she has the one that she pulls behind her. She'll look like Uppity, pulling that red basket. Maybe Uppity can lend her red basket and she can pull the dog. But the dog is a senior dog. I'm questioning if the dog is up on all his shots. Where was the forethought of this dog when she was in pushing herself in on this trip to go on this trip? But I'm not. We're going to talk about that later. I'm here to talk about what I'm here to talk about because why give this craziness any type of attention? Okay, so because any sane person would have had all of this figured out before she decided to crash in on a trip that she wasn't invited on. Hey, Purple Peach, long time no see. It's good to see you. So here, now for good and evil, are you here? Hey, Joyce Goodwin, good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me for good and evil? Because I'm really getting a delayed response from you. That dog looks mangy. I'm not forgetting no. My dogs fly. My dogs travel. I am not forgetting that. Monica, you are forgetting one important fact. Wes needs to be up to date on all of his shots. Yes, I am not forgetting that. She was probably trolling about taking her pooch. Trolling for attention, to have a whole long drawn out conversation about a dog, or maybe even herself, who I really doubt is going on the trip. Who's going to pay the dog fee for the hotel and for the flight? Because it's at least $350 cleaning fee that you have to put on deposit. Okay, it depends on what hotels. uh, Pam is back up. Pam, is this you?
Yes, ma'am. And I wanted to make sure while you're speaking about these things that we keep abreast, okay? Because I was over there
I'm sorry.
nosy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was being nosy, and I was over there in Pizza Land, and so Pizza brought up a point that why are you over here begging for the dog? And then somebody said, she said, oh, Sheffy said, oh, I have money to pay for my dog to travel or whatever the hell. And then Pizza said, well, bitch, she didn't say it like that, but she said, but bitch, why the fuck are you over here begging for money for yourself when you got money to pay for your goddamn dog? She didn't say it like that. Of course, those are whole sentences, enunciated words and everything. So we know she didn't say it like that. So yeah, so they're trying to figure out. They had dragons over there. They're trying to figure out how to get the goddamn dog. People don't want to meet the dog, but Ness said, "Don't bring the dog to my goddamn event." So that's what I got.
And Madam Scorpio says she's not up to date with her own shot, much
Mhm.
less that dog shot. I mean, like, where is the forethought?
Hey, Jelly Bean.
I really doubt the vaccinations are up to now. So okay, I was wondering, I had planned. I was like, well, since the bitch playing my stuff, I'm gonna play her stuff. I'm not giving them all of my identifying information in that sector. So one good turn deserves another. So Ronnie Q, baby girl, what you mean? Who's going to pay? Sheffy knows these ninjas are suckers. Child, it is a shame and a scandal. So what say you guys? Should I reenact this lying chick over there trying to be victim because she couldn't get her thoughts together and she sounded like an abject fool and saying that universal health care and universal housing would be the answer to treating people who are addicted to opioids? Or should I you know just play her shit? Like she had the nerves to play my shit. See, because I have content. This bitch is over there actually playing my content to 35 people, and bald mouth Brooke Valentine had the audacity to say, oh yeah, you can play it. You can play her shit. You can play her shit. Oh God, these fucking loser ass bitches, can't come up with their own comment and commentary and then have the nerves to act like they can okay somebody's to play. It's fair use. It's fair use. Why is Pizza talking about anyone begging? She needs to go sit down somewhere. And that is a fact. Hey Trey, how are you doing? Okay, ladies. Okay, one in the chat if I should play her shit, or two in the chat. Ronnie Hugh, just do it like you always do it. Just reenact what the silly heifer is saying. Hey King Koyos, how are you doing?
Well,
The
I
church
always
lady.
vote for the reenactment because I love when you reenact. That shit is so fucking funny.
Oh, for good and evil. What is your vote?
Hmm.
She in the chat typing. Hmm. Did you hear me? Do you hear any of us for good and evil?
No, actually, I was doing something else, and then I was trying to figure out with this being on this computer, trying to. I heard all these different conversations that was going on.
Did you
So
figure it
What
out?
kind of conversations are you hearing? Because it's just me and Ronnie Q up here. Like, are there
because
more people speaking?
yeah, it was. I think it was like when I had YouTube on and then StreamYard, and I think everything was playing all at once.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah,
how
It has,
that feels.
so it was kind of like weird. And I don't
yeah,
usually use the computer. I'm usually using my phone or my laptop. So it was kind of weird. So it sounded like it was like a bunch of people talking all at once. So and I couldn't figure out what was. So I
Yeah,
had
you have to mute them when you go onto different devices. What I do is I just mute everything and just pick one because it
so
will make you have that sound. Hmm.
so should I like so what I ended up doing was first I closed StreamYard, but which I knew I should not have done that. So maybe I should have just closed YouTube.
right.
Right. Okay. Because I hadn't been on here in a long time anyway. So I ended up closing YouTube. So now it's much better. But before, when we were talking, when I was asking you about old girl, about what was going, what this situation was, I really didn't get you were talking, but I couldn't get your responses because everything was just wide open.
Yeah, you have to turn the volume off on YouTube. You know how you just touch the volume on YouTube and
Yeah.
before you come up on
Oh, right,
StreamYard.
right.
Yeah, just
Okay. Got
that's all you got to do. And you can keep both open, but make sure you turn the volume off on YouTube because it's not playing at the same pace.
Okay.
One is delayed than the other. Okay, so now,
So, can I backtrack for a minute just to get an
yes,
understanding? We don't have to stay there long. We can, you can move me along if I'm sure y'all done already talked about it. But I thought it was cool. I thought she was good people. So, I mean, y'all could have collabed and
I'm not
especially
gonna collab with her, but I would, allow her up. Like,
I mean,
I
I
don't
won't say
want.
like a collab, but I mean,
Mhm.
like certain content, y'all could have did a panel
Right,
just talking about the election, just that, like when we watched the debate, and
exactly.
I'm talking about just something like that to that extent. And I thought it was cordial, I thought she might have been, pretty cool, so I didn't see this coming, but
Nor did I. Where in the points where we, when you tell somebody, okay, well, we can agree to disagree. Just say we can be agreeable. We have different opinions. We can agree to disagree, and move on. But then she kept on going back. No, because I just want to say a lot of people are so against socialize this. Nobody's against anything, but she had worn the point out. She did not make her point, and we weren't going to stay on that point. Try to have you call yourself teaching someone about socialized medicine. I already know about socialized medicine. The countries that have socialized medicine pay less per capita for medicine, and they get way greater outcomes than the U.S., who pays far more and have poorer outcomes. Who are you telling this to? I don't need you to preach this to me. This isn't the point. We were talking about what they were going to do about the opioid.
the
Why are
opioid
we even
crisis,
talking
yeah.
about this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like and then so I get word today that she is over there streaming my live. She's streaming the debate live. So let's get into what she had. What I couldn't say on Ronnie Hugh about the opioid crisis, a civilized discussion. So now, first of all, you are playing my stuff. You are talking about a civilized discussion when all I said to you, we can agree to disagree, but you
Right.
insisted on continuing to push your issue that we were moving on for. The debate was not about that one issue. We were trying to talk about the totality of what we heard, what we expected, what we were disappointed in the debate. So you got a bone up your ass and you think that you're just gonna keep my panel on what you want to talk about. No, this is my panel, my channel. And so I said, I'm gonna have to ask you to step down now. Because she kept over talking, and at that point,
Like that takeover spirit, like she was one of those situations.
exactly. So I didn't curse her
Oh,
out.
wow.
I didn't do anything. Now here comes this dingy bitch. She thinks everybody in the beef sector are ignorant people. I understand that
And
the way
most
they.
are, but dealing with you,
I'm not
you
saying
not,
I'm
this is a
I'm not
different
saying
caliber right here.
I'm not saying I'm the smartest. I'm like the most intelligent person on YouTube. I'm not saying
Right.
that by far. But what I'm saying is, you guys came through here by ignorant people. Thus, you're in here because you came through here by some real lowbrow, slow people who can't converse about anything other than YouTube tactics and employees and plots and stuff. It's beyond that over here. We're having a serious conversation. Thus,
Mhm.
we even did a debate show. So what are you talking about? Who do you think you're talking to? Okay, so
Mhm.
let's hear. I get the word out that this cow is over there playing.
And who is up here? Who's this? This hamster? Is this? Yeah, I don't
That's
want
a
to.
view's of view. That's a view's of view.
Oh, okay. Hey, you.
Okay,
Hey, how you doing, baby? How you doing?
so here
Good.
we go. So It seems to me like a solution that won't. Wait a minute. Let me make sure.
She said, "Who is this hamster up here?"
I thought it was what Sheffield. Is it who?
Let me change my avatar. Hold on.
I thought it was either her or Yaya or somebody. I don't know. Shit.
Okay,
But
so let me start. Now here she starts.
yeah,
Hey, what's up, YouTube?
that's the view I know right there.
Okay, so I'm gonna start my commentary about this is how she starts the live. Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm gonna start my commentary. I I wanted to well, let me say that when I was strolling over the beach sector, I was really happy to see that somebody was covering. I really don't care about the presidential debates, so, and it also now this is me. So the fact that you didn't care about the presidential debates, so you hop up on my channel to talk about what we heard in the presidential debates and thought that you really don't care about them, so therefore you thought that you was going to talk about whatever you wanted to talk about on my panel, and when I kept not letting you were the one who got in your feelings because she said she really didn't care about it. Now she's trying to act like, oh, she was so refreshed that someone was talking about something you don't really care about, that you thought that you was going to come up here and try to school people on. Let's continue. It's
Mm.
not usually much serious political topic that goes on around those debates. It's more like a performance. I can't even say gladiator performance because the two contestants are really like two elderly old men. Joe Biden is so close to death. I can't believe he's running again, right? I can't believe he's so old. He can't even raise his voice above of a whisper. The nerve of them. Um, but one thing I've come to realize about the Democrats is that, to a certain extent, I don't think the Democrats mind losing elections because they would probably raise more money if Trump won the election than if Biden won the election. Like the Democrats have figured out how to profit off of losing, which is why I don't think they really tried to win the policy issues that they claim to support anyway, right? Like, if Joe Biden is in office and they're trying to raise money, they might raise a certain amount. But if Trump is in office, they can fearmonger about how dangerous Trump is and raise even more. And at the end of the day, I think that's what it's all about. Okay, so now she has absolutely nothing to say about this think tank from the Heritage Foundation that plans to initiate all these draconian policies with the within 2025, the project 2025, which plans to indoctrinate to which plans to take 50,000 civil service jobs away and give them to right wing sycophants and people who want to push the right wing agenda. And they simply say, well, 50,000 civil service workers are going to have to find new jobs, which plans to take, oh, which one did they just took something. They just stripped the EPA. They just stripped division heads. The Supreme Court just stripped it where people in the EPA won't be able to who work with all this data and statistics and things as regarding clean air and clean water will not be able to be referenced and be called into witness in cases where you're suing a company about these exact measures. The Supreme Court just stripped that away yesterday. So what is she talking about? And these are the things that they wanted to put in the hands of the judiciary, which is appointed by the president. So she's sitting up here with all these far-reaching, pulled out her ass points about, okay, so let's continue what this chick has to say. I was happy to go on Ronnie IQ. Okay, see, you don't even know my name. So there's that. Okay. People were talking about policy because one of the criticisms and frustrations I have about people discussing politics online is that they treat it as if it's a soap opera. I've heard men and others in this sector talking about how they like Donald Trump because he's strong. Are we picking a leading man in a movie? Or are we talking about policy? Where's the policy discussion? You didn't hear any policy discussion in Donald Trump. So that was the whole point. What would be the policy that would help people get off of opioids? And then you decided to discuss it, and you're talking about universal medicine, housing for people, housing for the mental ill, and you got mad because I wouldn't let you continue to take over my panel to have a nonsensical discussion. Okay, let's continue. That happened on Ronnie IQ's, but then it started to go more into like the personality debates, which I'm just not as interested in. Anyway, the one of the questions that and then again, I was trying to go with the flow, like I didn't come on her panel with an agenda of like what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to see if they were talking about policy, and if it went to policy to try to inject about my leftist politics. That's what I'm trying to do. I feel like I was really respectful. Like I say, the opiate the opiate crisis is really not like what I would have hopped on. Okay, so why did you even bother to hop on the panel? Because the opioid crisis was a question in the debate that, and we were talking about that question that was in the debate. So she thought that she could come on my panel where I was talking about the debate and push something that she wanted to push. That wouldn't have been the first thing I would have hopped on. Well, hop off the panel then, like I invited you to politely to leave the panel, because we were talking about the debate and the opioid crisis was a question of the debate. Let's continue. Wait a minute. I had some about people. Well, let me see. Get they treat it like it's a soap opera. I've heard men in this sector and others talking about how they like Donald Trump because he's strong, and it's like, dude, are we picking a leading man, or do you care about political policies, right? Like, where's the policy discussion? And I heard a little of that discussion on Ronnie Q's IQs, but then it started going to more of the personality debate, which I'm not as interested in. Anyway, the one of the questions that, and again, I was really trying to go with the flow, like I didn't come on our panel with an agenda of like what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to see if they were talking about policy, and then if it was a policy to inject like my your agenda, my leftist policy. I feel like I was really respectful, and like I said, the opioid crisis isn't the first issues I would have hopped on, but it was at least a policy issue that I heard them discussion that I felt that I had something to contribute. And because I have strong leftist opinions on this, I actually was even respectful enough to say, what do you guys think before I start launching off into my own ideas? Now, you were respectful enough to say, what do you guys think? No, you weren't running my panel. I was respectful enough to ask everyone on the panel what they thought about an idea, a discussion that was had. Now, she thinks she was showing us some grace to even consider to ask us, what do we think? Is this bitch crazy? Is this bitch crazy?
Well, I think she thought she's a kid. She needed to sit at the kiddie table. She was trying to sit at the adult table, Miss Ronnie Q, trying to be an adult, eat with the big spoon and fork and everything, and it came to a failure. Period.
The absolute nerve of this bitch. Okay, so this is her whole spiel and setup. to see why it's happening about the opioid crisis. And when I asked that, there didn't seem a lot of answers, and I'm gonna replay it, right? I'm gonna replay that part of it from her show. But Ronnie IQ said herself that there is no solution, and I played that for you. She basically said there's no solution. I never said that there is no solution to the opioid crisis. Treatment is the solution to the opioid crisis. Putting these big pharmaceuticals, making them pay is the solution to these opioid crisis. These pill mills and all of this stuff, charging them just like you would charge the regular drug dealer is the solution. I don't even think I had gotten to my point because she kept on bemoaning housing and universal medicine. Okay, so let's go. So it was wild to me when I said, well, I thought that obvious solution is that like that. They kind of, I'm not gonna say they got angry, but it got hostile. Like when Steph was getting said, like, you hate your own people. Okay. Who said you hate your own people? Oh, she's a liar. Are we having a discussion? Are we all adults here? Can we calm it down a notch here and talk about the question at hand instead of the personal attacks here or whatever? Okay, this bitch is a fucking liar in a political discussion, right? But it seemed wild to me like they were so offended about the idea of universal housing, universal health care, but they admitted themselves that their specific political ideology provides no solution. I did not admit that at all, you lying dumb bitch. None. So it seems to me like a solution that won't hurt people would be no solution any day of the week. If you admitted that, you have all this political commentary, but the issue you most passionate about in the debate, you don't have not one idea about how to address it within your political mind frame. Okay, so first of all, the one idea that I had about I was most passionate about in the political debate, that was not the one idea that I was most passionate about in the political debate. See, that's the one idea that you're most passionate about because you sounded like a fucking lunatic and you couldn't articulate an answer to the simple question of what would you do, what they should have had to offer about the question of opioid addiction. Now, all of a sudden, it's my one passionate thing about the debate. No, there is plenty more things that we wanted to talk about and encompass everything that was encompassed in that debate. But you're stuck on this answer because it was inadequate and you were shown how inadequate you were in your talking point, you silly asshole. So don't talk about what we were passionate about. We were passionate about the entirety of the debate, but you're stuck because you sounded like a fucking fool and you don't like that, bitch. You wanted to act like you have some highbrow commentary, bitch. You ain't have highbrow shit. You couldn't even articulate the fuck an answer and try to skew it around to your talking point and you're butthurt about it. Oh, get used to it. Because we're not dumb bitches over here. Well, all of us aren't, I say. It might be time to like adjust your political mind frame. Maybe your political mind frame doesn't offer you a solution to the problem that you see most plaguing our society. Okay, what is my political mind frame exactly? What she see these unicorn Negroes who catch on to something and think that they are the most unique person in the world. See, I was a staunch Bernie Sanders supporter. Bernie Sanders supported universal health care. There's a difference between universal health care and socialized medicine. Understand, universal health care is distributed by all the medical facilities that are available to you. Socialized medicine is given under government facilities, government hired doctors, nurses, staff, and everything. So see, they're not one and the same, and using this term interchangeably really does a disservice to everyone. So see, this simple bitch think that she had a point, and that is her only point. See, that is your only point. And you thought that you was some unique ass bitch coming over here talking about how you like socialized medicine, you dumb cunt. You don't even know what the fuck you talking about, you silly bitch. Okay, anybody else got something to say? I'm sorry, let me read the chat.
Okay. Go ahead, Miss. I'm going on mute. I'll be right here.
Oh, nothing? Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for her to say something. It's just so much we got thrown at just now, Miss Ronnie Q. This is a whole lot.
Okay.
You know.
I was gonna say UNC girl. Forget Neva. No.
Okay. Is she the smartest one over there? That's all I want. Is she the female that's supposed to come over here and just tell us and put us in our place, put our ladies in our place, since we have issues with men being talking to us half the mood fucking crazy? Is she the one? Is that the one? Is this what they're presenting to us? Is that what I'm hearing? Sounds like it. Girl, go sit your ass back down somewhere. I'm just saying, no, ma'am. This is the adult table over here, okay? Stay over there at the goddamn kiddie table and color in your crayon book. Did I just diss myself? Girl, let me, hold on. Go ahead, y'all. I'm mad.
Yeah. Okay, Babs, are you here?
Yeah, I just had a real quick question because having been in that particular panel, and what you were saying, you said she basically said that we were focused on personalities and things rather than policy issues.
And that was our one signature issue, but we said that there is no solution for the issue.
But with the focus on personalities, weren't we all criticizing the fact that people focus on personality rather than focusing on personality ourselves?
Exactly. I mean, it was just a whole bunch of if you're gonna play what happened, play what happened. Don't nobody need all of this retelling of the story and forming a narrative around what you want to fit. If you want to play what happened, play what happened, but don't play my shit.
Okay.
And then as far as the no solution thing, it was more so saying that there's no magic bullet, not that there's nothing that can be done. That's two separate ways to address something. There's no unicorns and fairy glitter, right? So you can't just wave a magic wand and the issue of opioid abuse go away. That's all we were saying.
Wow. All I want to say is I did enjoy her dragging Burger Brie. I did, but girl, you're one pony goddamn unicorn lady. Okay, so stick to the goddamn unicorns and ponies and shit that you can deal with. Deal with Burger Brie, but when it comes to politics and intellectual conversation, you are out of your league. You can throw some goddamn big ass motherfucking words and shit that people that over here that really probably can't pronounce them even know how to spell. So, but girl, don't bring your shit over here. Okay, we gonna call her ass out every time.
Now, they say she has no business teaching anyone's children. Is she a teacher?
What?
Hey, that part ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just saying don't mischaracterize what happens. That's all I'm saying, because that is not what was being argued. But I'm gonna hop back down.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right.
Oh my God.
Project 25 is a policy transition proposal that outlines how if Trump should win in November, he will vastly remake the federal government most effectively to carry out an extremist far-right agenda. You are absolutely right. Let me share this with you guys. Let me share. I was going to do this on Monday. I have a little short summary of all the things that they hope to do within the first 180 days under this Project 26, but she think that I should give a fuck about some hillbillies being on opioids, and she think that that was the most far-reaching thing in my mind when she just found out about socialized obviously she only found out about socialized medicine. She hasn't found out anything about universal health care, but she found out about socialized medicine, so she thinks she got a motherfucking horn sticking out her head and she shitting glitter dust. Dumb bitch.
Well, Miss Ronnie Q, she just dragged a bitch that just had her first month of goddamn period and shit, Ronnie Q. She dragged that bitch that got to the ground and shit. So we can't expect too much from her and the goddamn other one. So, Miss Ronnie Q, these people can't step up to the table.
Of you,
What'd she say? Miss Ronnie Q kicked herself out. Oh Lord, I didn't cuss Miss Ronnie Q out till she done got off her own panel. Oh my God. Okay. Hi, good and evil. You have something? Because this is awkward. Because I can keep on speaking. Okay. Well, I guess. Okay. Hey, y'all. Okay, the chat. I'm behind Carolina. I don't know. Hey, Auntie Donna, how you doing? She got on the panel to make an issue so she can go back to her channel and make a video. Basically. Hi, T Lante. Oh, hold on. Miss Ronnie Q's back. Yes, ma'am.
Quit locking me off my live.
I was heated. I took that crayon and threw it right at your goddamn head. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so let's talk about what Project 2025 really is looking to do. And see, there's a whole lot. And I did talk about the Obamacare is set to expire. I believe in 2025, and if they're gonna do anything, they have to renew it. But see, this silly bitch is stuck on an issue that got her hemmed up in my chat and politely ushered off the stage. So let's present a little screen share with you guys who may not know what Project 2025 actually entails and has in store for the American people. It is a think tank by the Heritage Foundation, where they got together to try to change policy for the incoming administration. So here I'm going to play a little quick clip for you guys.
Have you heard about Project 2025? Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman and welcome back to Illustrate to Educate. In this video, we'll dive into everything you need to know about Project 2025, including 5 criticisms. Remember, if you disagree with Project 2025 or its criticisms, please don't dislike the video, but instead respectfully comment your thoughts below. Project 2025, led by the Heritage Foundation, is a comprehensive initiative designed to prepare for a potential conservative administration starting in January 2025. It is structured around 4 main pillars: policy development, personnel recruitment, training, and strategic planning for the early days of the new administration. Here's a more detailed breakdown of each component. First, let's look at the policy agenda. The Conservative Promise is a detailed policy guide that provides specific recommendations for governing major federal agencies. The guide encompasses conservative solutions to various issues, including economic policies, healthcare, education, and national security. It is intended to serve as a blueprint for the next conservative administration, ensuring that key conservative values and strategies are implemented effectively from the outset. The second pillar is the personnel database. Project 2025 includes a comprehensive personnel database aimed at identifying and vetting potential appointees for various positions within the federal government. This database seeks to ensure that a future conservative administration has a pool of qualified, ideologically aligned individuals ready to fill key roles. The recruitment effort,
which means that if you working in the civil service role, you will lose your job because you may have donated to a Democrat in your history. So therefore that shows that you're not ideologically aligned with this Republican administration. Let's continue. Conservative.
Span across different sectors and backgrounds, targeting experienced professionals who can execute the administration's agenda efficiently. The third part is the training through the Presidential Administration Academy. To prepare the identified personnel for their roles, Project 2025 has established the Presidential Administration Academy. This academy offers a range of training programs, including workshops, seminars, online courses, and mentorship from former administration officials. The training is designed to equip future administrators with the necessary skills and knowledge to implement conservative policies effectively. Fourth is the 180-day playbook. The 180-day playbook is a strategic document outlining the immediate actions to be taken by the new administration within the first 180 days. This playbook is crafted to enable swift policy reversals and the implementation of conservative priorities, ensuring a smooth and impactful start. It includes specific actions for various departments and agencies, focusing on undoing the policies of the previous administration and setting the stage for long-term conservative governance. Now let's talk about the coalition and organizational structure. Project 2025 is supported by a coalition of over 100 conservative organizations, including think tanks, advocacy groups, and academic institutions. This broad coalition brings together diverse expertise and resources to support the project's goals. Notable participants include former officials from the Trump administration who contribute their experience and insights to the project. There are specific policy focus areas in Project 2025. Project 2025 proposes significant changes to federal policies on reproductive health. These include removing references to abortion from federal laws and regulations, reversing the approval of abortion pills, and defunding clinics that provide abortion or contraception services. The initiative also aims to reinstate the Comstock Act to ban mail-order abortions and reshape Medicaid to avoid funding reproductive health care services that include abortion. Another focus area is cultural and social issues. The project emphasizes the restoration of traditional family values and religious principles. This includes opposing policies perceived as supporting cultural Marxism and promoting a pro-life agenda. It advocates for policies that support the nuclear family, religious liberty, and traditional gender roles. There's also the leadership of Project 2025, which is directed by Paul Dans, a former chief of staff at the Office of Personnel Management during the Trump administration, with Spencer Sherteen serving as associate director. Both bring extensive experience from their previous roles in government, contributing to the strategic planning and execution of the project. So what are the criticisms of Project 2025? Project 2025 has sparked significant criticism from various sources. Critics argue that the project embodies a comprehensive plan to centralize executive power, erode democratic norms, and enforce a far-right agenda on American governance and society. Let's take a look at 5 specific criticisms in more detail. First is the centralization of executive power. One major criticism is that Project 2025 seeks to expand presidential control over the federal bureaucracy. The plan includes reviving the Schedule F classification, which would allow the president to replace thousands of civil service employees with political appointees loyal to the administration. Critics argue this would undermine the nonpartisan nature of the civil service and politicize federal agencies, making them tools of the executive branch rather than independent entities. Second is the attack on democratic institutions. Critics highlight that Project 2025's blueprint includes proposals to dismantle or weaken key democratic institutions. This includes plans to defund the Department of Justice and dismantle the FBI and other agencies that could act as checks on presidential power. Such moves are seen as efforts to undermine the rule of law and enable the executive branch to operate with little oversight or accountability. Third, the project also faces criticism for its potential use of government power to target political opponents and critics. There are fears that it would enable the executive to pursue legal action against political adversaries and critical media outlets, drawing parallels to authoritarian regimes where dissent is suppressed through state mechanisms. The fourth criticism is the social and cultural agenda. Project 2025's policy agenda includes strong positions on social issues, promoting conservative values that critics argue could roll back rights and protections for various groups. The document outlines plans to restrict LGBTQ plus rights, enforce strict anti-abortion measures, and integrate Christian nationalist principles into government policy. This agenda has raised concerns about the erosion of civil liberties and the imposition of a particular religious and ideological framework on the entire nation. Lastly is the environmental and climate policy rollbacks. The project's stance on environmental regulations is contentious. It proposes significant rollbacks of climate policies, which critics argue would have detrimental effects on efforts to combat climate change and protect the environment. This aspect of the plan is seen as catering to business interests at the expense of long-term ecological sustainability. Did you find this video about Project 2025 to be helpful? Remember.
Okay, so we have a silly ass bitch thinking that I give a fuck. The first and foremost thing on my mind this election cycle is universal health care. Yes, I do care about health care. I mean, not universal health care, the opioid addiction. I am not addicted to opioids. Opioids does not affect me or anyone in my life, in my close life. Yeah, it is a problem. Why is it so hard to figure out the problem to opioid addiction when it was so easy to figure out the problem to crack addiction? If there's a will, they will figure out the solution. We also talked about that is another thing that we talked about. They didn't have a problem with throwing people in jail and criminalizing crack cocaine above powder cocaine to give harsher jail time to these people who were addicted to these drugs. So why is there such a big problem? I did not say that I did not know a solution to this problem, but I wasn't going to bemoan this problem and turn it into something about we need to give people housing. So we need to give, the solution to the opioid epidemic is to put them in HUD housing and let them continue to use with no other intervention. These are some of the things that I said about the opioid crisis in response to what she was saying. Absolutely no solution. She had absolutely no solution, and she's mad about it. So you think with all of this that is headed down the pipeline, and there are congressmen who are in agreement with this Project 2025 who say that they are willing to live under martial law for this 180 days while these things are enacted. So do you think I care what a dizzy ass, dumbass bitch is trying to rearrange the argument around because her silly ass was unequipped and inept in answering one simple question about a broad debate that covers many important things, more important things than that silly shit that she was unsuccessful in talking about. Okay, anybody else?
Well, that was a lot. I'm glad you. First of all, I'm glad you, Miss Ford, for good and evil. Go ahead, baby. But there's a echo in your thing. I'm gonna mute. Go ahead, baby. Okay. There was an echo, but I don't know. Did she want to speak
Okay,
first?
let me see if okay, she dropped down. Okay, so one more thing. One more thing. I'm gonna share my screen with you one more time. Yes, you guys definitely need to go read. Yeah, this was the you know, that video was trying to get you to understand. But if you read, they are talking about putting homosexuals in jail. That is the guy in the tank who is over what to do with the gay people. They said that they had good ideas in other countries by jailing them. This is in the framework of the paper of the 2025 project. So let's not act like they are not interested in doing some real draconian type of policies. Okay, let me share this with you guys.
Can you imagine being gay and then all of a sudden just walking around and stuff and they're just gonna say you gay, we're gonna put you in jail? Like, how are they determining that? This whole thing sounds crazy as fuck. Okay, go ahead, Ms.
Yeah,
Pinky.
but this silly bitch think that she had to, that she is to determine that this was our most important point. Bitch, you are such a simple asshole that you think you can determine what's important for somebody, for anybody on the panel, when we were talking about the entirety, because a president is not dealing with the opioid issue in his entirety of his presidency. You dumb bitch, the fuck out of here. I hate a silly ass bitch trying to make a point because she had no point. Let me share this with you guys. This is the president, Dr. Kevin Roberts. He is the president of the Heritage Foundation, which put forth this Project 2025 paperwork.
100-plus page presidential transition plan giving Team Trump a detailed blueprint for a potential second term. That blueprint would radically remake the federal government if executed, with its stated goal being, quote, to assemble an army of aligned, vetted, trained, and prepared conservatives to go to work on day one to deconstruct the administrative state. The project is built on 4 pillars, which go well beyond previous transition efforts. There's the policy agenda, personnel, training, and a 180-day playbook to execute the think tank's plans. Many authors of the blueprint are former Trump officials. Joining us now, one of the architects of Project 2025, the president of the Heritage Foundation, Dr. Kevin Roberts. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Roberts. Thank you for joining us and coming. I know people are like, y'all got the architect of the 2025? Yes, because everyone has been talking about it. And we saw our interview that you did with the Associated Press, and we've been reading through some things. And I think we just want to first start with anchoring this conversation in. You told the New York Times that this plan is a plan that you know, is for anyone. It's not just for Donald Trump. You would like if President Biden would implement some of it, but you don't think that that's going to happen. And so you reject the assertion that this is a plan that was cooked up specifically for the second coming of the Trump administration.
I appreciate that question, because as your lobby shows when you walk in, you've got the word honesty and the word accuracy there. That's an honest and accurate depiction, and I'm grateful. Number one, the Heritage Foundation couldn't do that because we are nonpartisan. We can't be tied to one candidate. Secondly, we have offered a briefing of Project 2025 dating back to last year to every candidate for presidency, including President Biden. Honest to goodness, I would have been thrilled if President Biden and his team asked for a briefing. We understand that we have differences of opinion on just about everything, but at Heritage, we believe in telling the truth with a smile on our face. But the last point I should make is that now that President Trump is the nominee, and President Biden has not taken a Project 2025 briefing, President Trump is going to make decisions about policy in his administration if he wins. Project 2025 is something that's going to transcend the next 4 years, the next 10 years. It really is, for the first time in the history of the conservative movement, the apparatus for policy and personnel. That's the most important thing to remember.
I have one follow-up. It's just that you have said that this plan is about institutionalizing Trumpism. So, because I also know you all, not just the president of the Heritage Foundation, you're also president of the Heritage Action, which is the political action committee. And so is it tied to Trump or not?
I said the context for that comment to the New York Times was that the work of the Heritage Foundation was to institutionalize Trumpism. Trumpism as a new version of conservatism, conservatism that recognizes that by every objective measure, the United States is weaker in 2024 than it was in 1984. We also happen to think that's reversible, by the way. We're ultimately optimists. And by institutionalizing Trumpism, what we're saying is that even though we are known as Ronald Reagan's think tank, I'm a son of the Reagan Revolution, I'm very proud of that, that's 40 years ago. And we need to understand what time it is in America. And right now, Donald Trump, whether someone likes it or not, I happen to like it, is the standard bearer for conservatism.
Well, Michael, what time is it?
Well, I don't think it's time for Trumpism in that regard, because one of the things that as a lifelong follower and participant in Heritage, having spoken at various times there in the roles that I've played in the party, I see this as a dramatic shift away from those Reagan-esque principles when you have someone like Trump who has advocated some of the things he has. But before we get to that, I want to get to the nub of this, because you can't really do anything until you remove what has been identified as the problem, and that is 50,000 federal employees. Axios quoted, noted, quote, the massive headhunting quest aims to recruit 20,000 people to serve in the next administration as a down payment on 4,000 presidential appointments plus potential replacements for as many as 50,000 federal workers who are policy adjacent, as Trumpers put it. Policy adjacent to what? I mean, you're talking about people who've been in federal government. My daddy was a federal government employee, so I would be really appalled thinking that he could be on someone's chopping block because they think he is part of some deep state effort. Talk to us about what that looks like. If Heritage is calling for removing 50,000 federal employees, who are you replacing them with? And where do they come from? I mean, even if it's not 50,000, if it's 10,000, if it's 2,000, where are they coming from?
So this dumb bitch is over there playing. This dumb bitch is over there playing somebody's video. You over there playing my video. Bitch, this is the video you should be playing if you had any motherfucking common sense. See, this is the message that needs to be put out there, you dumb hoe. You want to play a video? Play these types of videos, you silly, simple bitch.
Right.
Go ahead, View.
No, right. I mean, this is something that she can really get some growth on her channel reporting on. Okay, why is she over here in the B sector with us messing around with this motherfucking fool la? She gonna play. We over here minding our business and shit. She gonna play your stuff. Why she couldn't play this? Like, really? She's biting. She's thirsty. She needs to go sit at the tallest table, Miss Ronnie Q. I'm just gonna wait for my final opinion at the end of this damn live. I'm just gonna give
the link. I dropped the link for this video. Hey, MU. Okay, let's continue.
And who are you replacing them with? Because I suspect a lot of those people you're talking about have been in the federal service for a long time and have served not just Republican administrations, but also Democratic administrations, et cetera.
They have. And 95% of them who give political contributions give them to the Democratic Party.
I reject. So you're going to fire someone because they wrote a check to a Democratic candidate?
No, we're going to fire
95% gave to a Democrat candidate. So this is your reason, okay, for firing people who have been in their job 20, 30, 40 years, almost about to retire. You're going to get rid of them. And he himself said that 95% has given to a Democrat candidate. So you think that the number of civil servants, and you believe it's 95%, is going to stop at 50,000? No, they're going to get rid of all of them and replace all of them. They are saying 95% has given to Democrat candidates. I don't know where they're getting this number from. I'm sure there are some Republicans who work as civil servants in D.C. and in other federal agencies. But what the man is telling you, they are going to get rid of up to 95% of civil servants workers and put them out of work and put in sycophants for their agenda, their policy agendas. Okay, I'm going to let this play to its entirety. I had to give a little commentary to break it up in between. This is dangerous and scary stuff. So what about Republicans giving people jobs? I guess only if you're a Republican and you are lockstep in with this draconian agenda that you deserve to work and have a living. Well, maybe with the rest of these people they're putting out of jobs, they'll do like Miss Thing advocated for. Give them housing. Okay. Let's go.
Or someone, and the number needs to be more than 50,000, considering that there are more than 2 million federal employees, because over the last century, the radical left has seen the administrative state as the fourth branch of government. The radical left has we're going to fire someone, and the number needs to be more than 50,000, considering that there are more than 2 million federal employees, because
now you heard him say we're going to fire someone because the number needs to be more than 50,000, considering that there are 2 over 2 million 2 million of these employees. Okay, let me take it back just a hair so you can hear him say this clearly.
No, we're gonna fire someone. The number needs to be more than 50,000, considering that there are more than 2 million federal employees. Because over the last century, the radical left has seen the administrative state as the fourth branch of government. They're unelected bureaucrats. Nothing against your dad, obviously, as a human being. You know that about me and Heritage. But ultimately, we have to devolve power from the imperial city of Washington back to the people.
Because he wrote a check to a Democratic candidate without any appreciation or understanding where his political allegiance.
We will dramatically reform agencies that take rights away from people.
Why does that matter?
They're doing their job about a mission that's misaligned. For example, the U.S. Department of Education. Thankfully, President Trump deserves credit for saying that he wants to end the Department of Education. That means that employees in that agency, even if they've been serving that mission with great competence, will have to go look for another job. What's more important than that, Michael, is that we actually have a delivery mechanism for education in this country that reflects the 21st century. So at Heritage, we see this a very different way. You want to look at it from the lens of unelected bureaucrats, most of whom, not your dad, I guess, who want to say that they are more important than the everyday American. We want to look at it from the standpoint of the everyday American and say it's time that they are put in the driver's seat rather than unelected bureaucrats.
Yeah, but they aren't going to be in the driver's seat because they aren't going to be doing the jobs. The folks you're identifying who are Trump aligned are the ones who are going to be coming in.
You are positing that those people are incompetent. And I can tell you from looking at the resumes of the 11,000 that they're very well qualified.
As much as you're thinking I'm positing these people are incompetent, you're positing that they're somehow executing a nefarious agenda.
Some of them are. Why does the Environmental Protection Agency have 300?
Have you identified them?
If I could interject, because I did actually work for the federal government. I worked with the number, as did the chairman.
Now, he's saying that simply because they are doing their jobs, but they're executing a bad agenda. But see, they work under Democrats and Republicans. So see, do you see the sleight of hands there? Did you see the real sleight of hands there? He said they're executing a bad agenda because they're not executing his agenda. Okay, let's continue.
And I worked with a number of those we call them civil servants in the United States government, people who are not political appointees, and they have the institutional knowledge.
If only they acted that way.
Well, I think Alicia has a question along those lines about one of the policy priorities that you all have identified in Project 2025.
I actually, Dr. Roberts, have a question about this upcoming election. Is your organization going to accept the results of the 2024 presidential election?
I believe that Dr. Roberts can't hear. So Alicia just asked, is your organization going to accept the results of the 2024 election, regardless of the outcome?
Yes, if there isn't massive fraud like there was in 2020.
What does that mean?
If there isn't massive fraud.
Okay. Are you going to accept the election results? Yes, if. That means a no. That means a no. If there isn't massive fraud. You didn't accept the last one and there was no massive fraud. So he can't simply say they're going to accept the results of the election. Understand that these this is what we need to be talking about. These people have this agenda set in place to go along with the inauguration of the next president of 2025. And this is what this man is saying with a serious look on his face. Let's continue.
You believe that there was not massive fraud?
There was massive fraud. We have an election fraud database that has documented that over years. By the way, the Heritage Foundation has been concerned about election integrity for decades, not just about 2020. We've been documenting this problem for a very long time. And if one of the
I believe, according to the Heritage Foundation, sir, by your count, Heritage Foundation has done an investigation, and according to your count, there have been 1,513 proven instances of voter fraud across the United States since 1982.
Yeah, that's probably.
Since 1982, they found 1,800 and something cases of actual voter fraud. These are their numbers, but watch how he gets around this right now.
1,513.
Because they're very hard to document, and the Democrat Party is very good at fraud. The key.
So you have only actually found 1,800 and so cases. Because they're very hard to document. And the Democrats are good at fraud. They were so good at fraud, like when Rudy Giuliani came and said that Ruby Freeman and her daughter were passing dollars as if it was crack cocaine, and now his ass had to pay for libel for saying that thing. They're so hard to document that that you guys came out and said Dominion voting machines were changing votes, and Fox News continued to report that as if it was fact, and then they had to come out and pay over 900 some thousand dollars. It was it 900 and some million dollars to Dominion voting systems. So it seems like the lies about voting frauds are easy to document. Therefore, you didn't go any further than the actual 1,000 actual factual voting fraud cases that you found. And in those 1,000 cases, are all of those voting frauds people who voted for Democrats? See, that's another thing, because the most cases that I heard of this in the 2020 election were Republicans committing voter fraud, their dead mother, their dead wives, taking their ballots and voting for Republican candidates. So to just throw a number out there, even the 1,000 number, those were not all people frauding to vote for a Democrat candidate. Let's be clear. Okay, I'm gonna let this finish up. It's almost over.
Key thing here, which I think we would both agree on, is that
500.
Go ahead, Pam.
Okay, well, I can't hold it back because now y'all fucking with my goddamn legacy and shit. We didn't have goddamn computers, cell phones, and stuff like that. We had microfiche. We had the damn United States Postal Service. We had people going to the goddamn polls and voting stuff and archiving things on a microfiche. See, we were all in this part of this transition and shit, but we at least recorded stuff. Stuff was recorded and documented at some point, whether it was with a goddamn piece of paper and a damn matchstick. Okay, so that whole thing is blown out of the water. So the fact we have computers now, that's no comparison. Okay, we already knew how to document stuff and report stuff, but it was always slanted in a different arena. I'm going on mute, Miss Reineke. I gotta go take an edible.
And see, so this silly hoe wants to sit over there and play something to prop up her failure at being able to discuss anything about this election in its totality of any importance or any urgency, when this is what is on the block for this next presidency. Okay, so Aaron said these people are sick for real. I need to get more involved and active and start talking about this to make sure people vote. We all do. That is the reason why we got together at the debate. That's why we were discussing what we thought about it, what we had wished we had heard, what we were disappointed about. So let's be clear. Joe Biden lost that debate. Joe Biden was trailing off. He was like trailing off in thought and all of that. But if you think that you need to waste your vote on not voting, on voting for a third party candidate, or for voting for Trump, let's be clear what you're in store for. This is the president of the Heritage Foundation, the think tank, big money think tank, who is figuring out ways to control you. Okay, be it by martial law. These are the things that they want to enact. They've the Supreme Court. Donald Trump will have at least 2 more people that he will be able to appoint to the Supreme Court. That's the same Supreme Court that's just decided yesterday that agencies like the EPA, the Department of Education, will not be allowed to be used as what do I want to say? They will not be able to be used, and their data will not be able to be used as testimony, as to support any type of civil claims that is being bought out against dirty water, dirty air, all of this type of stuff. You know, several different Republican states have already taken back the child labor restrictions. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, she is allowing children to work as in dangerous positions, not having to have any work permit, such as meat cutting plants with heavy dangerous machinery as young as the age of 14. I believe Wisconsin, Iowa, Arkansas, it's 4 states. I forgot. I've already done the story on this. You know, I talk about these things. And for a silly ass bitch to come up and act as if the opioid crisis, which does not affect me and how I live my life. And I know if they wanted to affect any type of change, any type of punishment in this opioid thing, they will either do what they did with the crack epidemic, or they will give these people treatment and then be harsh with them afterwards. So give me a fucking break, bitch. Okay, let me finish. Okay, I'm gonna let this finish.
Proven instances of voter fraud across the United States since 1982.
Yeah, that's probably
1,513.
Because they're very hard to document. And the Democrat Party is very good at fraud. The key thing here, which I think we would both agree on, is that we aspire at the Heritage Foundation to seeing a poll after this election where every American believes their vote was counted. I care as deeply about someone on the political left with whom I disagree saying that they have confidence in the outcome of the election. It seems rather than turn this into a partisan conversation, which you do a good job of at MSNBC, we might say we aspire to something more noble, which is that every American believes their vote counts.
I mean, I don't think it's partisan to ask if you will accept the results of the election. Alicia, I don't know if can you hear Alicia now?
Yeah,
Alicia, do you have another question?
I can hear. I do have another question. I'm specifically interested as it relates, Dr. Roberts, to the deportation of immigrants in this country, just understanding sort of how it is going to work. When we talk about folks on the interior, how you see a future administration utilizing the National Guard, ICE, police forces to deport something like 11 million people.
Could you hear? Yeah. So she is asking about immigration and how you see immigration, how in this plan, how you talk about using like the National Guard to deport individuals. Like what is the, Alicia, and do tell me if I am adequately
people on the interior specifically.
People on the interior specifically, not people in the border, people within this country.
Well, first of all, we need to close the border. And secondly, we need to have the biggest mass deportation system ever in the history of America, because it is unjust and illegal and evil that more than 10 million illegal aliens have come to this country. It's imperative that we send those people back, invite them back to come through the legal system. We love immigrants at Heritage, but we also love the rule of law.
So how do you plan to carry that out?
Well,
are you talking about going door to door? Because that's what I mean, I could read from the plan, but I think
the first thing is that there's going to be a lot of self-deportation. The interesting thing, as you no doubt know, is that simply talking about this and beginning to implement a plan, and President Trump deserves a lot of credit for talking about this, causes people to say, I don't want to run the risk of being arrested for doing something illegal. But secondly, there are great plans using the Department of Homeland Security to return these people back to south of the border. The great thing
Okay, are we? Hey, Ms.
That's what I got it. I got it, View. I was just unmuted.
Right.
That's what I wanted to get. Thank you, View. That's what I wanted. You're so helpful. I really appreciate you chiming in when there's some quiet spot.
You're welcome.
I wanted to get to them returning people back to the south of the border. See, what he did there was not slick by half, motherfucker. Because did you guys not see the live that I did that showed all these Chinese who are coming through south of the border because they are allowed to fly? I think it's to Ecuador without a passport. And then from Ecuador on, these are Chinese people who have thousands of money to spend on their trip, who have Airbnbs waiting for them on their, they use WhatsApp to navigate their way to America, and they come through a fence straight through Ecuador. Is this, what about all the people from other countries who come here and just overstay their visas? What about all of these people? But see, he's just talking and pretending as if people just south of the border are coming here. See, you need to tackle all of the people who are coming here, these same ones that you guys set up with business loans and no taxes, and you absorb into the United States system, that take away jobs from other Americans who come in here and treat Black Americans and other Americans like we are the second-class citizens. So we're not going to play like it's not all races of people who have been coming here, sneaking in here. But see, they can only see the Black and the brown people. That's my point. Anybody else want to say anything about that?
Is Miss for
good and evil?
Yes,
I don't know. Maybe she don't. You can say if you don't agree. You know, hey, whatever you want to say. Anybody.
Okay, for good and evil, are you going to speak? Because if you don't, I'm going to go ahead and get in because y'all know I love talking. Okay, so she's not saying anything. Okay, so what I did know, first of all, Miss Ronique, can you take that comment off of the thing? Because I'm not going after Aaron, aka Zap. It was a kiki. It was a joke, and now it looks like I'm going to come out. Okay, so first of all, we were blessed with this goddamn commentary this morning, but this motherfucker has lost. Oh. This motherfucker lost his goddamn mind. When I was in college, the Heritage Foundation, those motherfuckers used to give scholarships to people in black colleges and things, and it wouldn't be as high as they would give to people that were white and they went to white colleges. I got like $100 something, gift something on my account or something like that to buy one book or two books. But anyway, they have a whole goddamn agenda. What is it? And they are embedding it over here. And I don't even know why they're even relevant right now. Oh, because of the money. Heritage. Okay.
Money.
Get that point. Heritage. Get that point.
Because they're propped up by big money. That's why. And big money wants their agenda pushed, even if it means tearing down democracy and all the norms of that America, the democracy and the norms that America was supposed to be built upon. But we know a lot of that shit has been bullshit all throughout history, with the black man being 3/5 of a man and all this old shit. So, so they're just saying, fuck it. We gonna come at it with a sledgehammer.
Yes, ma'am. Let me say something else. Also, a lot of these people that are the younger people that are representing this organization and that are part of the Trump and all, I'm going to say the Trump because dump the Trump. Anyway, they're news reporters, they're actors. They are not really saying and expressing their opinion. They are reading questions that people have already been presented to them. They are actors, and I need y'all to understand that their ghostwriters are really asking the questions, and so you're getting camera moments from people that are the people that they presented to us. They are not. They don't have this goddamn passion. They're being paid to ask these questions because they look a certain way, they speak a certain way. They don't even probably feel that certain way. When you have money, you can pay people to deflect the whole angle of whatever the fuck you're talking about. Okay, I need y'all to understand that the Heritage is full of people that they just buy as actors to represent them. Now, this motherfucker right here is the ugliest motherfucking bald-headed pink person I ever seen in my damn life. So when you see them looking like that, you know that they are really the people that are a part of the thing. But when you see them, the little cute little people, little perfect little Barbie doll, Ken and Barbie doll motherfuckers, they are being spoon-fed and paid to get on here to ask questions and then report it. But you know they have to always respond in a certain scripted way. It's scripted. Let me be quiet.
I definitely agree with you. For good and evil, are you still here? For good and evil, I think we lulled her to sleep. I think she's uninterested in anything that we're talking about.
I'm bored. All right. She said, fuck you, Ronnie, you, and fuck goddamn you, and goodbye. Okay.
Okay, hi, I'm that messy. Good to see you. Okay, let me see. Now, what is Tea Latte? Tea Latte and Toya is going at it. Okay, Tea Latte. I don't have any problem with you having the opinion that marriage should be between a man and a woman. I don't have any problem with you have so marry. If you're a man, marry a woman. If you're a woman, marry a man. I don't have any issues with that. But at this point where we have come to a time where things have changed, do you think that the best solution is to jail people who are gay? Do you think that that is the best solution? You know, I agree that men shouldn't be playing women's sports. I agree. I don't care if they are trans, their body size and their bone structure, and they have more strength than
The
women. I
genetics,
agree with
the
that. I don't
genetics. The board
understand
is
why you go ahead.
I apologize, Miss Ronicky, but because I get trigger words. They're genetically born a man, so there are genetics that are there that you cannot replace. Whether they're a man and they want to be a woman, it doesn't matter. You are born whatever sex you are, and some people are born with different, maybe more an abundance of one type of gene and then the other. But I do not believe in people that are transgender. I'm saying it loud, that are going to transition over to whatever sex that they want to be, competing with women and men that are in that same. Like, I don't believe in a damn Butch Dyke getting over here saying I want to be a man, all of a sudden trying to be out here doing the football or whatever. I don't know. I'm being really funny. I'm trying to be comedic. I'm not really trying to do really serious stuff.
Uh,
But no, you cannot do that because and it's a sports thing. It is regulated. So aren't they supposed to have genetic testing? You are supposed to be tested to be within this certain level. Now, sometimes a lot of women have a little bit more testosterone. A lot of men have a little bit more estrogen. But
Sometimes
no,
it's
ma'am,
true. Yeah, that's true.
you cannot.
Now, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
You know,
You
you look
can't
at
get a surgery and all of a sudden take all these estrogen pills and testosterone pills, and just because you got your body modified, take your dick off and make a vagina and take your
the
tits off.
the bone density and the bone structure in a male is you know, for a woman that same age and weight is stronger. It's
Yeah.
just it is what it is, period. You know, to continue to beat this dead horse about hello, Babs.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, me.
Hey, Babs. Hey, Babs.
Now,
Thank
he says he's voting for Donald. I don't know if T Latte is a woman or a man. Excuse me. T Latte says I'm voting for Donald Trump. He is the best choice for the Black community. Okay, be specific. Exactly how? I'm gonna wait for your answer as Babs come and tell us what she came up here for.
Yeah, the only thing that I came up here for was just to say, probably the community overall that needs to focus the most on this Project 2025 thing would be the LGBTQIA community. They need to be a lot more. I don't know how to say it. They need to be a lot
Engage,
more aware of what's
engage. Hmm.
engaged about this exactly. Yeah, because it would impact them to like an incredible degree. That's all that I wanted to say.
Right. Right. And I really don't think I really have not seen a lot of talk. And I was like really surprised that I have not seen a lot more LGBTQ groups, speaking strongly about this Project 25, because I was just really surprised that this is the only solution, that they feel that they have to change it, and instead of even trying to make any type of gradual changes or any type of thing, they are going to is pretty soon. Well, even if you go to that, if you take this drastic position, there are going to be people who are unalive because of the bias, the open bias against them. number one. Number two, they may as well go the route of Uganda and allow them to be stoned, because that is going to be the outcome. If you say that if you are this, you're going to be put in jail. I bet you. Listen, not to be funny at all, but I bet you, like back in the 60s and stuff, people used to marry their beards and stuff so they wouldn't be caught. So I can imagine, this is going to be kind of the new norms. I believe that Jay Wilson will finally find the right woman, and I can see a Jay Wilson and Vivian, marriage, because everybody has to have a good beard or mustache, should I say.
Miss Ronnie
Okay,
Q?
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I want to say this because I know this is a good kiki with the avatars and things like that, but I do like to report a little bit seriousness where people that
now when I was serious, you was bullshitting.
I know, right? Okay, well,
go ahead.
No, I just because you know what, Miss Ronnie Q, you and I, when we do this, we already know, but I want these people to know where the origin of this stuff came from. Now, the thing is, like when people married their beards and things like that, because it is a good kiki, but at the time when the AIDS came out, it was very sensitive about you being married and who could share you with while you were going in your last days and things like that, because we didn't have the medicines and things like that. So people married, and they did it out of just of love and the fact that they are related and they've been together and they have family. So they married the person that they were with, or the family member, or the opposite friend of the opposite sex, so they can get onto the insurance policy, so that they can, when that person transitioned and needed help and assistance, and then also when they died, how their property was going to be divided. So, Ms. Ronique, I know you can appreciate what I'm saying. We love kikiing and bantering back and forth, but a lot of people don't really know really what it is and why people say that about beards, and that's how beards became about. The term
That is true.
yes, ma'am. And so I'm going to go ahead. You go ahead.
And then like a lot of people were, a lot of families, didn't have anything to do with their gay other family members. A lot of gay people were ostracized from their families, and a lot of gay partners were really taken advantage of during this AIDS epidemic. When their partners died, the families came in, took everything from this partner who had built these things together, and they came in and took everything from their partners. Sometimes the partners were ill themselves. So let's be real. I understand the dynamic and why it was necessary. And also,
but the people in the chat probably don't, and I don't want them to think anything different, because we always have to speak history, because we are knowledgeable. We can kiki and stuff, but we gotta
And that's why you're right. They had to they couldn't marry their partners back then. They had to marry somebody who was going to execute their will the way they wanted to, because if they weren't married, everything automatically went to the next of kin. You understand? So that's what the whole importance of the beard was. The mother could step in and say, well, I'm the next of kin. My son was unmarried. So that's exactly what a view is talking about.
Yes, ma'am. And that's a history lesson with you all. Now, Miss Ronique and I were just kikiing with each other, but y'all need to understand, when y'all trying to drag people, y'all need to understand what you are dragging for and how it developed. Okay, Miss Ronique, go ahead, baby. You know how I'm all take over spirit. I don't want to have it.
Babs, Red Wing Hockeys, let me hear your mic. I want to make sure your mic is not too loud. Red Wing Hockey. He has himself on mute. Babs, do you have anything else you want to add, Babs?
No, I was just saying, when you have whisperings about anti-sodomy laws actually being enforced and things like that, worrying about the bathrooms and things like that seems so minuscule,
Mm-hmm.
They are actually, like you said, they actually sitting here trying to imprison people just for the simple fact of being. And we're not trying to time travel back to the 60s and 50s and 40s. That's
Miss
all.
Ronnie Q, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. What's
Okay,
going
I'm
on?
going on. I'm going on mute. I mean,
No, it's your
I'm
turn to talk. It's your turn
No,
to talk.
you're
okay.
good. I'm about to hop off.
Thank you, Babs.
All right.
Now, what we have to do, as far as this politics stuff, is that we have to sit down and define what does liberalism mean and what does conservatism mean. Now, I was typing in the chat because we have to understand there was a divide between the southern states and the northern states who, okay, one people wanted black people to be free, the other people want us to stay as slaves. So when you talk about a conservatism or conservatism, or you talk about the Republican Party, them people actually, Ronald Reagan they were the people who made all these laws to keep black people locked up because they want to treat us as second class citizens. That's a fact. So
Well,
when
Joe
I
Biden,
hear,
no. We're gonna be accurate here. Joe Biden wrote that crime bill. That was Joe Biden who wrote that crime bill. That put a lot of people in jail behind crack cocaine. And so we're gonna be accurate.
okay, now let's be accurate. Joe Biden might have been a Southern Democrat. Do you understand when the Dixiecrats turned? When the guy,
Yes, I do. Yes, I
Lyndon
do.
Baines Johnson,
Yes, I do.
Lyndon Baines Johnson. Okay,
I
so,
understand.
okay.
I
Now,
understand.
let's teach our people how things were actually, it when Martin Luther King and all them came through the civil rights movement, the Kennedy family, who killed them, but they were the ones who were fighting for civil rights.
I
It was the
understand. I
conservatives who killed them people, man.
listen. I
I'm
understand
going on
all of
mute.
that. I understand all of what you're saying. You don't have to reteach me history. I'm not talking about, well, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that is why they are taking history out of the classroom. That's why they're taking a lot of history books out of the classroom. In
Yeah.
Florida, you cannot have it's no more black studies history even in college level. So I do believe that you need to know your history, but I don't need you to preach my history right now because we're talking about the present right now. So we're talking about getting the information out right now
Yeah.
today about what the future may hold if we sit back and jaw jerk about history and ignore what's coming over the horizon. That's my whole point of doing this show today, Red Wings. Okay, he dropped down.
Can I
I did
say
not.
something real quick about Red Wings? I'm not making any excuses for anybody because everybody has an opinion and everything like that. But Red Wings, boo. Sometimes you have to pick your own battles and things like that. I think you need to do your own channel because it's not appreciative when you come over to people's channel and first of all, your mic and your voice is very loud. We're already dealing with these umbrella motherfuckers over here. I don't even know these niggas or bitches or whatever the fuck. Miss Thing, you a bitch too. We don't even know. So we're just trying to do whatever. And I love Red Wings. He does support and everything, but sometimes he wants to just let people know, what it is, especially when it's a topic that he feels very opinionated about. He's from the DMV area, which I am from. But sometimes Red Wings, boo, it's not the right time, and your mic was very hot. You like all up in there, and we're just really catching a nice day with Miss Ronnie Q on a Saturday because there's a whole lot of fuck shit going on, and it'll be too much to deal with on Monday. So I'm glad Miss Ronnie Q released the pressure on this motherfucker shit so we can like shh, and then we can.
Yeah.
So Monday we can come in real nice. Okay.
And Red Wings, I don't know why you dropped off. I'm just saying, I get that, and I definitely get the importance of history. I know history. I'm not a history buff, but the little
Yeah.
simple things that you're saying, yes, I know this, but we're not We're not talking
And
about that right now. We're not.
yeah.
Oh well, Joe Biden did this and Kamala Harris did that. And but so who are you going to vote for? Trump? Who all of this? Why does Trump have to have the Heritage Foundation to put up policies, procedures that he will enact when if and when he become president? Because a president is supposed to have his own policy agenda that he has thought out, that he wants to go with. Why? Because he don't give a fuck about being president. He just give a fuck about not being able to be tried for his crimes. He don't give a fuck about running this country. Fuck it. I'll take the Heritage Foundation did a good thing. And the Heritage Foundation has an agenda of how they choose to see America and what they want out of America, because they have what? The money and the power and a dunce who will enact exactly what they want to do. Did you not hear that most of the Heritage Foundation is also made up of former people who had worked in the previous Trump administration? It's the easiest way to push their agenda through. If you have someone at the head of state who is totally checked out, who is totally about self, who will come out and lie to your face to say that more people died from the 19 pandemic under Joe Biden than under him. He has absolutely no shame. I don't want to talk about history right now. I want to talk about what's in front of us and what we need to pay attention to right now. I'm not trying to be rude, but there is a time and a point where everybody needs to be checked on their history. Okay, Joe Biden, he wrote the crime bill. It put so many people in jail. So many people went to jail in the Clinton administration on top of it, behind this crime bill. Let's be clear. These were two Democrats. Who was that? Strom Thurmond of the segregationists, and Joe Biden was good friends. Okay. All
Good
of that.
Judy.
But I noticed that when people want to say, talk about the crime bill and how crack cocaine put so many people in jail, crack cocaine, say what you want. I think it was unfair for crack cocaine to be or more criminalized than regular cocaine. I think that it is absurd that so many low-level drug people are always the ones who face these harsh penalties, but it's no desire to find out who these big suppliers are. Never. Now, when they found a big supplier in this opioid addiction, it's the pharmaceutical companies, and then they're going to try to give them a sweetheart deal that they can no longer be sued by the people who have not sued them already. Once you settle this case, nobody else can sue you for the harm that you caused to them. And see, it was Joe Biden who stepped in and said, no, they're looking for release during the bankruptcy court. And no, they cannot say that they can no longer be sued after they pay these fines and penalties. No, they can still be sued because people are still harmed. People are still hooked on these opiates. People are still relapsing. People who have never recovered are still in the throes of this addiction. So Joe Biden was the one who fought, and it had to go to the Supreme Court. And surprisingly, this Supreme Court did side with Joe Biden and said that, no, you're going to have to go back to bankruptcy court and reorganize because, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck how much you pay. People who have been affected and by this opioid crisis will still be allowed to sue you. So let's be clear on where we are today. I'm pretty sure Miss Thangs didn't know nothing about that because she think that socialized medicine is the relief. I think that socialized, and people didn't want to hear my viewpoints. No, bitch, we don't give a fuck about you. We don't give a fuck about you and your viewpoints, bitch. Go shove them up your pussy, you silly hoe. Okay, so is there anything else, Pam? Did I miss anything?
I want Miss Ronnie Q. I think you summarized everything very well, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear my goddamn voice, but as long as Miss Ronnie Q allows me to come over here fuck y'all bitches. Okay. So anyway, I wanted to say, this president that some of y'all are trying to get into the house. First of all, I hope he gets a goddamn ankle monitor or whatever the fuck they give. I don't even know anything about that. This person has incited the very essence of what the Constitution and how we came over. Now, I'm gonna say we because it was a group effort because they took us and robbed us and raped us to come over here and steal this goddamn country. And so somehow we formed our whole goddamn thing based on the British whatever white shirts and stuff and starch stuff. We even taken over this goddamn country. Okay, so somehow we're over here. So I went through a whole goddamn 400 years of goddamn conversation with that 2-3 words. But so this motherfucker had this whole goddamn thing. He incited a whole issue on the White House states on the. Do you know some of my people? We were traveling in trains, subways, and things. We were getting around DC during this whole goddamn event. This motherfucker, y'all gonna say, "Oh, let's vote him in." He incited a whole damn situation where people died. They died and their family died behind them because nothing can be the same. He needs to be. Oh my God, the fact that this person is still, hold on, let me, y'all know I like to clap my hands. Let me clap my hands. Hold on. Let me get my, first of all, this person, where's my camera? It doesn't matter. This person had done a whole lot, and y'all still gonna support him? Because what? You're going to be a Republican? You're supporting the team, the effort. Your team effort sucked. Okay, it did. It caused people that died that are on your team. Some of y'all got them police officers and stuff killed behind trying to protect the people that Trump said let's run up into the goddamn situation. I don't
Capital
want to use certain words, Miss Ronnie Q. That's
to
what
the
happened.
Capitol.
I was in that area, Miss Ronnie Q. I know people that died with this whole goddamn voting thing. Whatever he did, I'm so mad. I had 5 edibles, Miss Ronnie Q.
Okay. Oh Lord. Now Trump is not the issue. The states, the Congress, and the Supreme
Yeah,
Court
everything.
that will follow him are the problem. If you don't understand that, then you need to read more. Well, Connie Chun Black, the most important election is your local elections. Of
She's
course,
trying to get the Connie.
if you don't know that, you're absolutely right. These are the people who you are sending to the White House to represent you. These are the people who are using the lower level position as stepping stones to get to the
Yes.
White House. We understand that, Connie Chun Black. However, if you maybe you got here a little late, see, they're trying to usurp all of that with this Project 2025 thing and
Right.
give a substantial amount of power to the presidency. So it is the biggest problem. The presidential the November election encompasses more than the presidential election as well. There
They don't
are
understand that you have to vote in the local. You have to vote your neighbor. You have to support your neighbor, and then your neighbor goes and vote, and then the people behind the neighbor, and then you have different things. It's a whole progression in things, and it's been already written here. You just can't just say vote Trump, this person. It's a whole progress. Do you vote? Are you a registered?
there's more than the president who's going to be on the ballot this election season. But how many
A
of you
lot.
vote? How many of you vote in off election cycles when
Right.
a whole lot of people who are going to be working hand in hand with DC government? How many of you vote in the off year elections?
Right.
For senators and stuff who are elected 2 years after who will be up for election in 2026. How many of you guys have voted in 2022? All of these things matter. People have to get engaged. Okay, let me see. Toya, is that you?
Oh Lord, are you high? Hello? Oh, obviously. What the hell? You falling down the steps? Oh Lord Jesus Christ. Here we go. Really?
Can
How
you hear
much
me?
marijuana
Hey,
is smoked?
Toya, I
We
hear
have
you
in the
now.
marijuana state. Okay, hold on. Let me go mute.
I hear you now,
Uh,
Toya.
how's my sound? I'm sorry.
You have a feedback. Toya, you have feedback.
Hello?
Toya, you
See,
have
they're right
feedback.
here. Yeah, the California is the most motherfucking liberal state in the goddamn country, and this bitch can't even get on a goddamn live. Hello, somebody. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call her a bitch, but I don't give a fuck. And misunderstood, you the same goddamn thing. Whatever.
Toya? Oh, she
Oh,
dropped
they
down.
ain't even there. Okay,
Come
see,
back,
this is what I'm trying to
come back
say.
up, Toya. You had a feedback, Toya, and
Rolling
I
down the
couldn't hear
steps,
you.
ain't even get to themselves together. But we're supposed to be listeners to that. Okay, I'm representing the East Coast. Okay, the East Coast, DEMV. Okay, this motherfucking shit. When they started smoking
No,
marijuana and shit, was it Silicon Valley and goddamn California? Yeah, I know you over there, Miss Ronnie Q. I ain't
hold
talking about
on. Hold on 1 second. Kenna, your mic is on mute.
I'm sorry.
is
Yes,
she from California. No, she sounds white.
Hey, is this Kenna H?
it is. It
Oh,
is.
look at that picture. I
Oh,
recognize the voice. I didn't recognize the picture. Let me
that's my
uh
boo.
okay, what did you want to add, Kenna?
Can you take the screen down or the thing
No,
down?
I gotta finish this. I'm gonna finish this.
Okay, all right. Let
But
me.
that's why I have it up. Okay, Kenna,
Oh,
what did you like
okay.
to add?
I just wanted to add this point, and I'll be really quick. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No rush, no rush.
But someone in the chat had said, "What has Biden done in terms of something positive?" And I know this is a broken
I
record.
didn't see that. Go
Um,
ahead.
this is a broken record for many people. I've talked about it on my channel. I know nobody wants to hear it, but what he did recently in the last couple of years with the student loans, there were people paying on their student loans for over 25 years. I have friends who were paying on their student loans for over 30 years. So, what he did in terms of student loan forgiveness was forgive those loans. And people who were paying on their loans for 25 years because you can't go to a bank or a credit union and borrow money. And well, what bank or credit union would lend money and you have to pay on it for 25 or 30 years? So the rationale
If
never
it wasn't a mortgage, go ahead.
exactly. So it was 8%. And that's what he's done in terms of helping a lot of people who had student loans going back as far as the 1980s. And these individuals are in their 60s and in their 70s. And let me just put out this disclaimer that it isn't that people didn't pay on their student loans, they paid on them for over 25 years
Mm-hmm.
at 8%. If that's not loan sharking, I don't know what is. For example, they may have borrowed $10,000 but ended up paying $80,000. And so they were never going to get out of that debt. So that is one thing that he did. And the other thing that he did regarding the student loans, you can now include them in bankruptcy. That will be very helpful to many Americans. So that's all I wanted to say, Ronnie Q. Thanks for having me up.
I appreciate that, and people act like they forget that. And you have different groups who are fighting to give you that student debt relief. It's just horrible. Okay, hold on, a view. Uh, Toya, are you here?
Yes,
Okay, I can hear you fine now.
I had some technical difficulties.
Go ahead and tell me what you want to say.
I want to say thank you to that lady that was just talking about the student loan. I'm actually one of those millennials who have been paying off their student loan debt since the George W. Bush administration. And so the thing is, my generation was very, very affected by that because we also, on top of that, we had the 2008 crash. Okay. College, as a student going to college in the 2000s, college was not cheap. And then after that, when you got out of college, we didn't even have the jobs there for us to pay these loans back. So I just want to say shout out to that. Now, some of you people in the chat need a history lesson down there because it seems like we're about to repeat history again. Now, if anyone know, listen, I wasn't even born in 1980, and I know about the Heritage Foundation that kicked off the Southern strategy of it all of the 1980s. Okay, and so there is one of the heads of the Heritage Foundation in 1980. I forgot his name, but he even said on mic and admitted years later that he stated that we want to we want to dismantle voting rights because there are too many of us voting. Okay, this is in 19 freaking 80. So flash forward to where we are in 2024. Listen, I'm not a Biden Harris fan. I'm not at all. But I have no choice because I feel like, and I'm definitely not a Republican because they have not done anything for us. I haven't seen anything in my lifetime. Now, I was born in the Reagan administration. And yes, Reagan did drop crack into the Black community for those who don't read. So going back to that, the 2025 project is no joke. I'm not kidding. You people need to read about this. The only reason why I am voting for Biden again is because that project is going to dismantle everything, not just voting rights, but civil rights for everyone. My thing is this. Yes, Biden did sign the CRY bill in 1994. And here's another fun fact for you guys I kept putting in the chat. He gave us Clarence Uncle Tom Thomas. Not a fan of him. He needs to go. The whole Supreme Court needs, well, minus a few of them, just needs to be washed away. The 2025 project is going to take away so much from us, so much of what our ancestors, our grandparents, and everyone fought for. It's going to have us back on the plantation. And I'm not saying that as like just being like joking about it. Like board or Brown versus education is going to be gone. They've already started that. I mean, and if you are for my LGBTQ people, which I am, that marriage, gay marriage, is going to be gone. Even you're right for you ladies who want to get a divorce, that's also in there too. So I really wish people would read. I mean, and also here's another thing. With the Democrats, we need to be a little bit better about picking who we put into Congress and Senate because both parties are bought. Both parties, we have too much money in politics. This is how Jamal Bowman lost. Do you guys know who APAC is? Ronnie Q, you know.
APAC is that's a lobbying group, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, a foreign lobbying group that puts money into both parties to get people out, like progressives. That is, which should be illegal. So they are funding to keep people like mostly a lot of Black Democrats like Cory Bush. They got Jamal Bowman. They're trying to go after Summer Lee. They are primarying Black progressives who are trying to make a difference. So
And
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Please.
Go ahead. Go
No.
ahead.
I've been
Finish. No,
talking.
go
I've been
finish.
talking.
No, go ahead.
They are targeting and it has to do, yes, with Palestine. So, and I am going to talk about Palestine. You know why? Because that is our tax money. That is our money that is going over there killing people. So when I hear people say that ain't our problem, it is our problem. That's our money. Okay? We are funding a war and killing kids and women for no reason. When
No,
that
for
money
no
Girl, what
needs to
reason.
be here, when
what
that money
kind
needs
of
to be
weed
here for infrastructure and to get health care. I'm on
Yeah.
mute.
Yeah.
what the
You're
hell you
exactly.
talking about, girl? You all over the goddamn place.
No,
What kind of weed you got? What's in your goddamn marijuana you smoking, girl? Told
well,
y'all, whatever the fuck your name is. You all the way all across the goddamn border, girl. I'm
well,
sorry.
I have reported on
The
this
fuck? This
Palestinian
bitch.
thing.
Oh my
I
god.
have,
Let me get off
I
here, Miss Ronnie. I
view,
can't with this
st-
nutcase. You
view.
we talk
View,
about this shit and you talk about goddamn California shit. Can you stay focused? What kind of motherfucker
why
weed
are you
the fuck
yelling at
you
me?
smoking, bitch? Now
Why are you
you
yelling
can
at
spend
me?
your own over here whenever you feel like you
Why are
ain't
you
got no
yelling at
motherfucking
me?
business to do. Nobody wants to hear about your
What
goddamn
view?
issue
What did
over
I do to
there. Oh
you?
fuck.
What
We
did I
don't
do
need
to
to hear
you?
about goddamn barbecue, bitch. Take your ass
What
back
do
over
you
there and
what
smoke some
what did I do to you?
you smoking, bitch. What is going on? Nobody gives a fuck. We was over
Oh
here
my
smoking some
god.
shit. You
What did
gonna
I do
drag
to
your ass
you?
over here talking about goddamn politics and shit like that. Now I know I got some
What
goddamn
did
truth
View, what I do to you?
Saturday goddamn drag
Huh,
over here, okay?
pussycat?
The edibles have kicked
Saturday
in. How
drag.
many? You
This
said you
a
had 4 or
bonus.
5.
This a bonus. We're supposed to be a bonus. We talk about this shit Monday through Friday. We got goddamn Ronnie Q here on Saturday, bitch. We don't have time for your motherfucking high shit.
I'm on
Okay?
topic though,
I'm
right?
telling you,
I'm on
we gotta
topic,
clean
right?
You
our
are on
houses.
top because
We
I'm on
the
gotta
topic.
viewers,
take care of
viewers,
shit. We ain't got time to hear your motherfucking mouth.
I
You got
agree with
I
you,
love you
Toya.
too, View. I love your
we got
coloring.
this
I love
fucking
you
doing a
too. I'm giving
goddamn
you a
state
hug right
today.
now. I'm giving you a virtual hug right now,
Am I the
View.
only one that feel the same goddamn way?
I love you.
I kind of agree with Toya on that Palestinian thing. I think that our money should could have been better spent. And
damn
you
funny,
know,
y'all.
we are being looked at crazy. And if people want to ignore the Palestinian, the unaliving of innocent children and women being just mowed down by all of these bombs supplied by the U.S. What are we creating there? We had Jared Kushner saying that we should plow down all of the land because it's great waterfront property, and we should shoo any remaining people into the desert. Who says things like that? And we 60% of the people living in Palestine was people under the age of 18, which means there were what? Children. Over 60% of the people living there. However, it has been mowed down as if it had some sophisticated army over there. But they were rooting out Hamas. So okay, so the same way that they tenderize your senses, saying that every time that Rodney King moved his body in wretched and pain was an aggressive tactic against the police, and people took it in with their prejudices, and their biases, and says, "Oh, the police are lying. See, he did move there. He did deserve another hit." And now when it's happening to you in every other race of people, see, you get tenderized by the brutality, and then what happens? Then you turn around and it is happening to you. Now it's going to be a problem. See, but you can sit there and watch all of that brutality happen and be okay with it, and understand that your tax dollar went to supply the armament that was done with this type of stuff. Don't complain when it happens to you. You hear what this Project 2025 has in store for you. Let's not forget who, Toya. Do you remember Toya stepped down? Is Toya
I'm
still here?
here. I'm still here. I'm
Okay.
on mute.
Do you remember there were different videos that came out? I remember this one couple in particular that they had shelves and shelves and rows of outdoor kind of like cages that had bathrooms in them. It looked like a jail cell, like a
Yes.
portable jail cell. And
Yeah. It
once
was
it
sad.
started getting out, they were like it was like a shipyard of these things. Who are
Hmm.
those for? It was like a whole shipyard of these containers. It was like a you could just look into it, and it looked like a jail set. It had a toilet in it, and everything. Who are these who were those cells for? And they scrubbed the internet of all evidence of those things. You see, it's like things like that. Things like
Yep.
that. You cannot find them or article about them. The people were chased away from the site because they were recording it. Okay, so what does your government has in store for you? Okay,
Exactly. I mean, you see what they're doing with the child labor laws in
I talked
Iowa.
about that.
Yeah, in Iowa and
Wisconsin,
Arkansas. Yes.
Wisconsin. I
Hmm.
talked about that. Okay, so let's be clear. You got to pay attention to what's going on around you. You got to quit acting like you live in La La Land. Okay, Miss MU, what do you want to add to the conversation? MU, are you still here? She has herself on mute. Okay, so I'm gonna finish out this.
I'll drop down, but this is such a great live. So I'm going to
Thank
drop
you.
down and fight with Tea Latte with her traditional family. Uh,
You drop down.
so great live. Let me take my traditional family divorce ass down to the chat. Bye. Happy Pride.
Bye.
Who has student loans for 25 years? Miss Hampton, do you have a student loan? Miss Hampton, do you have a student loan? You want to know who has student loans for 25 years. And I just need to know, do you even have a student loan? Okay. So there's that. So who has student loans for 25 years? Okay, so do you understand that people go to school for different type of degrees, different levels of degrees? Do you think that somebody who got his bachelor's in art would have the same amount of student loans as someone who went and got a master's in chemistry, in engineering, a PhD? So what exactly is your question? And should I even bother to highlight that you even question who has a student loan for 25 years? Because obviously you do not know the degree and the cost that it takes to go to school, and that each level of your education makes some people have to incur more and more student loan debt. So I'm just gonna take it as you may have misspoke there, but I'm gonna carry on. Okay, hey, Red Vines and Popcorn, Hudson, to everybody who came in who I did not speak to, I thank you for joining us in the conversation. View is a view. Got her gummies
calibrated.
Her gummies kicked in, and we had a little. But I'm telling you, everything matters. Everything matters. APEC is a federal. APEC is a federal crime, but nothing's done to stop it. APEC is also the lobby, a lobby for these private prisons. Understand that they are some of the main lobbyists behind private prisons. So while Miss Things want to determine that the most important thing about our conversation was the opioid crisis, which it was just a topic that was brought up in the debate. You know, the debate is what we were talking about. See, there are a broad swath of concerns that are coming up about this debate. Ronnie Q is so good. Thank you.
Ronnie Q breaks it down.
I think she mean the show is so good. Okay.
Yeah.
One of my besties is a PhD candidate, and the student loan is $150,000 and was forgiven. Miss Toby, is that you?
Oh, Miss Toby, I hope so.
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Toby, hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I was going to say that because she was like, "Who has a student loan for 25 years?" One of my best friends, he's 40 years old, and he's a PhD candidate, and he just got his loans forgiven. It was like $150,000. So I don't know what she's talking about, and he's 40 years old.
I don't think she knows either. That is kind of like my point.
She's talking about she got Pell Grants. Okay, God bless you that you got Pell Grants.
A Pell Grant ain't paying for shit. Pell Grant is such a low limit.
That's not even that much.
You're gonna be in school for 20 years.
I might have been lucky to get maybe 1 or 2 books from my motherfucking Pell Grant. What the fuck?
You're gonna be in school for 20 or 25 years if you paying for school with a goddamn Pell Grant.
She said she owed $2,300, but God bless you that you owe $2,300. But like I said,
23. Wait a minute, hold on. $2,300. Okay, you owe $2,300. You going to school on Pell Grants. You owe $2,300, and you asking who? How long have you been in school? How long will you be in school? Paying for school off of a motherfucking Pell Grant, bitch. You can probably. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to call you bitch. You can probably only take 1 course going to school on a Pell Grant. Excuse me. I did not mean to call you bitch.
Yeah, when he got, I mean, as soon as he got that letter and said it was forgiven, he called me up and he was crying for joy. I got my student loans forgiven too. And one of the reasons why was because I worked in public service, and thank goodness for that too. And I want to thank Biden for that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm somewhat financially free now. I
And
said this one time before on Miss T Velocity's panel. I said because of that, I'm thinking about maybe in a year or two when you know when the market is a little bit better, I'm thinking about investing in some property. I would never had thought about investing in some property because I had to pay my goddamn student loans for undergrad and grad. Are you crazy? Never mind.
now,
Let me hurt. Let me
also
shut up.
we would be remiss in okay, everybody wants to talk about the crime bill. Okay, so everybody also wants to ignore that many marijuana he has made it possible for many people to be released on marijuana charges. Unfortunately, a lot of people are they got time under state charges and not federal charges for marijuana. But he did relax the restrictions on that. So people who are in federal jail behind marijuana charges will have those charges dropped. I talked about the mayor of Baltimore who is taking all of marijuana charges off the books for people who have marijuana charges in their record, which prevents them from
Was it
getting things like
it,
how.
is it the mayor or was it the state's attorney? Because I was trying to find out when you said that.
I
Now
think
I know
it was the mayor.
because I know that the governor pardoned 125,000 people
Well,
for
maybe it's the
marijuana.
governor. Maybe it's
The
the
governor,
governor.
yeah,
Maybe I got it
governor,
wrong.
yeah,
The
yeah, he
governor's
part,
black as
yeah.
well. The governor's a black
Yes,
man as
honey,
well.
yes. The governor is
Okay,
black.
so
Is
I
black as
assume
what's more, and
I
that I told
assume
you that you need to look out for in a couple of years because I really think that he may run to become president of the United States in a couple of years. I won't be shocked.
I saw a picture of the governor during the bridge collapse, and I think I may have assumed that was the mayor, and I may have assumed that was the same person. So thank you for correcting me.
We have a black mayor too, and he's young, and he's
Yes,
only 40,
yes,
and he's only
and
40 years old.
I may have assumed that they were the same people. You know what they
Yeah.
say, all you
Well,
Negroes look alike to me
well, they
anyway.
don't
So
look
you
nothing.
know,
Bra-
they doing good
Brandon got
though.
a Brandon got an afro, and West is bald headed.
All of you guys look alike. You know, who can tell one from the
Excuse
other?
me.
What am I gonna do? What you
Yeah,
want
but
from me,
I was just
Toby?
glad that
What
he
you
did.
want from
Yeah,
me, Toby?
I was just happy that he. I think it was over 100,000 people that
And see,
he pardoned.
I think, and then they said it could be something closer to 200,000 if they go into the archives that Pam is used to digging in, the microfiche and things like that. They said because a lot of the people are
Listen here.
not in the computer bank, so they
Don't be
would have to
making
go.
fun of my goddamn microfiche shit in card catalog. Emmett Till.
So they're gonna have to go into that, and it would be even more.
Yeah, so I don't know when she was like people paying their loans for 25. Yeah, some people actually paying their loans for 25 years because you have to realize sometimes people graduate, they couldn't get their jobs right away, and sometimes people couldn't afford to pay the loans. People got life, they got a life, they got bills to pay, they got kids to take care of. Yeah, I think it's sad that we have to pay for education in America. That's just my opinion.
I agree. Now,
Ooh, I strongly
truth and
disagree.
reason. Okay, so you can. Truth and reason said every job I've had, I've been the most educated, experienced, qualified than my managers. Republican talking points. I guess she's talking about those black jobs that they speak of. I know that
What is
my
the black
husband.
job?
I know my husband actually experienced that a lot as well. Some of his managers in the past have only had bachelor's degree, and he has been way more educated, has worked in his field way longer than these people. Some of them, some people have an easier road to hoe than others. That is a fact. Misunderstood. What do you want to add to the conversation?
Okay, I'm gonna be quick. Thank you for having me up. My phone overheated, so that's what happened before. Sorry. Um, I just wanted to say this. Now, a while back in your conversation, someone was talking about why Trump was running and it was for whatever reason. And I just want to remind you guys that Trump did say he was running because he didn't feel that Biden was qualified and he didn't like what was happening
Girl,
in the
he
country.
running because he don't want to go
Wait,
to jail.
I'm just
He run.
no, I no because he
He's
no no
running
no
because
you
he
can't
don't want to go
no
to
that
jail.
he was
He's
already
running
running
because he
before
doesn't want to
no
go to
but you can't
jail.
say that
He
Wait a
because
wants
he
to
minute,
was
Miss Toby.
prevent
already
Wait
going
a
Jesus from
to
minute.
jail.
run
One at a time.
before
One at a time, Miss Toby. Let
he
her
was
finish.
already going to run. So I could see if he just ran when these charges came about, but he was already in the election. So what are you talking about? Now, I feel like this is interesting because if he does get arrested or have to do jail time, obviously that's going to interfere with his chances of winning the election. But as far as him running, no, he was already running before those charges came about.
Okay, so misunderstood.
Yeah.
I don't believe any of that. You said he was running because he felt that Joe Biden was unqualified, but then
I
you
said that's what he said. I didn't say I
okay,
believe. I
okay,
just said that's what he said.
okay, okay. That's what you presented, and then you
Okay.
said he was running anyway before the charges came about. So misunderstood. What I want to know from you is, um, how can you how do you feel about supporting a candidate who has been found guilty on SAing a woman in public? How do you reconcile that with yourself being a woman yourself?
I feel that if you want to talk about that, then you have to talk about what other political parties have done as far as
No, I don't. No, no, I don't. No, I
I
do. I
don't
know.
I don't
No,
like
no,
the thing
I
that
no.
he's
disagree.
okay. Let
Hold
me
on,
answer.
hold on.
I
No,
don't
you
like
didn't answer. This,
I
Go
don't like
ahead.
what was said.
no, no,
I don't
no, no,
like
no.
what he okay.
No, I'm not talking about anything that was said. I said
Okay.
about a criminal conviction. I'm not talking about what was said, and I'm not talking about why we have to talk about the other side because Joe Biden has not been criminally convicted of SAing someone. So these equivalencies, I'm talking about specifics, and this is only specific to him. So how do you reconcile yourself supporting someone? That's my question.
I feel that we're not focused on what he was actually convicted for because him and the hush money and interfering with the other election is what the focus was on. They did not go on about SAing anyone. That's not what his charges were all about.
No, he was convicted of SAing. What
Okay,
is her
but that's
name?
not the
No,
main
no, no,
thing that they brought to light, Brian
no.
Q, is what I'm
That's
saying.
the. But that's the main thing I'm asking you. See, that was a trial that included nothing but the charges of him SAing a woman. Nothing else. Nothing else was talked about, deliberated in that trial except for the SA.
Oh,
Nothing
okay.
about
You don't have to pull up the
anything
charges
else.
because what they spoke about was him paying out.
No,
I have a difference of
no,
opinion as far as
you're
the
talking
conviction go.
about
I
Stormy.
have a.
You're talking about Stormy Daniels. I'm not talking about Stormy Daniels at all. What is that other lady's name? Who the trial before then, when he was found guilty of SAing her in I believe it was a Bergdorf department store. What is her name? Eugene Carroll. I'm talking about Eugene Carroll. I'm not talking about Stormy Daniels. This was a separate trial before. I understand that he has so many trial cases, but this was only a
Okay, that was a
SA trial.
misunderstanding on that one. That was a
Okay.
misunderstanding. I thought you was talking about Stormy, so I was just saying that was not in there. But
Oh,
I
Jesus
think that it's
Christ.
problematic to try to convince anyone that either party is going to solve your problems. So that's
No,
really
answer my question. How do you resolve yourself from supporting someone to
no.
run the
You go sit
national
yourself down.
government?
I don't know why you guys are. I don't feel any. I don't
Yeah,
feel
because
any
you're
way
up here
about it.
because they're over here. This is where
I
I'm
don't
at.
feel
What's
either way
from you
about
over
it.
here? Girl, pick your
Okay,
balloon
I did
titties
it.
from
I
a
did
Miss
it in
place
a
else.
fight.
Miss
Let me
Your
keep my
Pam,
goddamn
mother's
Miss
California
conversation for
Pam,
goddamn
another
let her
day.
talk.
I did it in
Miss
a
Pam,
million times.
let her
I don't know
talk.
what
yeah.
your
You over
problem
here
is, but
babbling
I
this shit.
haven't been
We're talking
fighting with
about
anyway.
real
I don't know
Miss
what your
shit.
problem is.
Pam,
Goddamn shit.
I don't
And
know
you
if you
over here
I
let her
I
babbling
talk.
this
but why the
study
fuck
and
are you
goddamn
trying
big
to attack
motherfucking
me,
teeth.
ma'am? I
Mr.
don't
Ball,
know you.
Motherfucker.
I don't know your
Motherfucker,
good
you
side.
red
So why are you
bitch.
coming at me? I didn't come
Hold
Girl,
on.
over here
stop coming
disrespectful.
into
So
girl.
what the
Coming
Hold
fuck
into
on.
are you
girl.
talking about? I didn't come
I'm gonna
over
be
here
quiet and run too.
disrespecting
Go
you,
ahead, girl.
Hold on,
Go
ma'am.
ladies.
ahead.
Hold on. Hold on, ladies.
Disrespectful ass.
Hold
I
on,
didn't
ladies.
come over
Wait
here
a
even
minute,
addressing
MJ.
you.
Hold on,
So
ladies.
what
Hold
are
on,
you
ladies.
talking
MJ.
about? Have a
Hold
great
Calm
on,
day. I
down,
ladies.
didn't come
honey.
over here to fight with any damn
Calm
Hold
body.
on,
down.
I
ladies.
just
Wait a
made
minute.
a
Wait a
point,
minute, and you
and
calm
then
down, y'all. Both of y'all. Calm down.
Okay, hold on, ladies. Okay, she's gone. Okay, so now here's Miss Hampton.
Yeah, she
Miss
shouldn't have come
Hampton.
up here. Okay, I'm sorry,
Miss
Ronnie.
Hampton has been talking about God will see you through. That's what the slaves said for saying and said for over 400 years. She has been talking about the God is going to be the answer to everything. So then she asks, who pays for student loans for 25 years? And then when I bring up the E. Jean Carroll case, she said Clinton had sloppy toppy. Okay, so Clinton
Oh
had
my Lord Jesus.
okay, this it's a lot. So Clinton had
Amber,
what? Clinton had
Amber,
excuse me, one second,
consensual.
Miss.
It was
Let me
consensual.
let me finish, Miss Toby. Clinton had consensual sloppy toppy. Okay, Clinton did not commit a crime when he let this woman do sloppy toppy on him. So, Miss Hampton, I don't understand what your point is equating Clinton getting consensual BJs or however many there were to someone SAing. Do you know what SAing is? The second word is assault and being found guilty in a court of law behind it, not just being impeached behind it, but not thrown out of office, being found guilty in a court of law and having to pay that woman over what is it, 90 something $1 million
Mm-hmm.
as a result.
Mm-hmm.
And an additional money because he continued to slander that woman outside of court, and then money was added on to his verdict. So Miss Hampton, can you tell me why are you even bringing up consensual blowjobs in the fact of a crime? Oh my God, these people. Oh my goodness. Hey, Miss Hampton, you came back here. She hit my link and said she was blocked. Miss Hampton, you keep on. You may just be blocked by the end of this live. I'm just kidding. Okay, okay,
But
okay.
wait, wait, Veronica, can I just say one thing too? I know that everyone always talks about the crime bill that Joe Biden was a part of, but I just want to also say that y'all also know that it was black politicians behind that too, right?
Yeah. I think it was what's his name? Oh,
I mean, I'm not
the
a
one,
yeah.
the one who's over the black Republican black, I mean the Democrat Black Caucus. What is his name from North Carolina with the big bulging eyes? You know, he really needs to go sit his ass down somewhere at this point because he pushed no issues. He steps aside. He steps aside before they even ask him to step aside, and he supports everything. He has brought forth no demands or anything that or attention that needs to be. The Democrat back caucus. Who is his name? What is that dude's name? Somebody tell me what is that? Corbin? James Corbin. Yes, that's who I'm talking about. So yeah. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for being here for the conversation. If that heifer didn't piss me off, but trying to mischaracterize something because she couldn't state a clear and concise argument, we wouldn't be here. Okay, let me finish this. You're gonna stay up here, Miss Toby. You're more than welcome to stay up here. So these are some of the things. These are the important things that worry me about the election. And we were talking about the Democrat debate, and this is the heritage. The president of the Heritage Foundation, and we're going to finish out his interview. It's just a couple of more minutes, maybe 3 or 4 more minutes. Okay, everybody go on mute, please.
thing is, even a majority of people on the political left agree with this because they see the damage that this has done.
Well, before we go,
I think we want to take a couple more minutes, and so I know we're being told to wrap, but we want to take a few more minutes.
I'll stay as long as you want.
No. Just ask you real quick. So what do these people do? What are they doing now?
Which people?
The folks, the 11 million, 20 million, whatever you want to deport.
A lot of them are committing crimes like murdering the 12-year-old girl in Houston. In fact,
so that's
very
one. That's
one
that. Out of 11 million. What is?
We can take the remaining time of the segment, and I can give you a lot
in
of
Texas, undocumented immigrants were 37.1% less likely to be convicted of a crime. Undocumented immigrants, and according to a survey, University of California Riverside study, 33% less likely to be in prison as of 2021.
Young lady killed in
I'm just giving the numbers.
Well, what do you tell the parents of those people, those young girls who were killed? This is,
Yeah, Ms. Carney, I don't know if you went out. I actually think this is a great live. I apologize if I feel like I'm attacking people. Go ahead.
I hate when anybody gets killed, but when you are faced with the actual statistics, and then you can go back and say, well, go back and tell that to the parents of that young child who was killed. Okay, so why is it that you don't have the same retort when it's go back and tell that to all the children who were unalived by these mass shootings in school? That's never the answer. Then when you say gun laws really needs to be changed in this state, no, you're talking about your First Amendment rights and this, that, and the other. So the flippantness of this man, of course they're full of shit. Okay, I'm gonna finish this out. Okay, I'm done with this motherfucker. Okay.
The preponderance of these people, Michael, are male.
But what is the difference between an illegal immigrant who unfortunately engages in that activity?
And we don't like that. I want to be clear. We don't use the term illegal. So undocumented individuals.
They're illegal aliens.
Undocumented individuals versus anyone else who commits the same crime. Well, I mean, so what you're saying is because you have this instance of individuals behaving badly, that's a reflection of every individual in that community, and that's just not the case.
No, what is the case is that because the preponderance.
I mean, what percentage of those people, the 11 million that you want to
answer your question.
I just want to clarify my question. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. What percentage of those individuals that you want to get rid of, move out of the country, actually commit crimes?
Our analysis in Texas, Georgia, and New York shows that a preponderance of the illegals who have come in
I don't know what's that number.
Are unattached male, and there are unattached males, and the disproportionate number of them are people who are not even making any attempt to be legal.
But what is that number?
Obviously,
are you
a large number
10 out of 1,000, or are you talking? I'm just trying to get.
Well, I just would say, and if Alicia were sitting here and you could hear her, she would say that you are weaponizing a horrific murder to smear 11 million people.
That is a laughable assertion. What Joe Biden is doing is weaponizing the entire government.
Before we let you go, Dr. Roberts, I do want to ask you about abortion because it is an issue that is at the top of mind for folks all over this country right now, waiting on a case from the Supreme Court, EMTALA. In Louisiana, in places all over this country, abortion care is unavailable to people.
Yeah, well,
Miss Hampton, I'm sorry of you. This is like the third or fourth time that I saw you write cocaine in the White House, but I guess you were unaware when they found the cocaine in the White House when Trump was in office. Miss Hampton, I didn't know. Listen, Miss Hampton, cut the shit. It's really unfortunate. I don't know what is wrong with her. What is wrong with you? So all of a sudden you never heard of cocaine being in the White House. All of a sudden you didn't know that it is okay. Found in the White House in the dining room where it is alleged that Trump spent all his free time watching Fox News. Okay, I'm not saying it was his, but you're unaware of that cocaine?
Party favors. Party
Let's
favors.
continue. I'm not saying it's his, but it was definitely reported on. Okay. We're gonna finish this out. I'm gonna go back a hair because Miss Hampton, I saw that comment. Okay, I'm gonna go back just a hair.
People that may need it. Abortion care is unavailable. Supreme Court, EMTALA, in Louisiana, in places all over this country, abortion care is unavailable to people that may need it. You and the organization in this plan talks about changing the Department of Health and Human Services to the Department of Life. Do you think that women in America should be able to get an abortion if that is what their doctor says they need?
Abortion's not healthcare. I find it really interesting, if not worse, that you wouldn't support the change of the department name to the Department of Life. I thought we were all in support of life. We believe eminently in women's rights, and particularly women's rights in the womb. And so the real question that you should be asking,
I just want to know, if I may though, because I do ask the questions
talking
here,
about the people
I just want to know, do you
supporting
believe
legislation that abortion can happen until 3 days after the person's born? This is an absurd framing by this network.
that is an absurd assertion. As a person with an actual womb, I'm telling you that does not happen.
So
but let me just
And you know what is the? Let me make sure my sign. What is it? What is it with this lie? Even Trump kept saying this. Oh, they believe in abortion right up to the 8th or 9th month, even after the baby is born. How do you abort a baby after the baby is born? The whole premise of this is just bull crap. The other thing, the whole premise about this also is that, oh my God, I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
It's the illusion of
no, wait a minute, view, please. God, I was just about to say a view. The Dodd-Frank amendment does not allow federal dollars to go towards abortion in the first place. So them acting as if the federal government is helping people who can't afford to have abortion. You know, this framework now, he wants to be the Department of Life. So the Supreme Court just had a Iowa ruling before them, and they were to determine whether if Iowa state's law that said that there could be no abortion unless there was the mother's life was in danger, and they wanted to clarify if it was an emergency abortion, but they said Iowa wanted to have it where only if the mother's life was in jeopardy. So what did the Supreme Court do? See, because it wouldn't be before you if you had not eliminated it in the first place, which allowed Iowa to say, well, only if the mother's life is in jeopardy can you have an abortion. So if you're in an emergency, and let's say that something happens that make the viability of having a normal child okay, you cannot even get rid of that pregnancy. You must carry that pregnancy to full term and deal with what comes with having a baby who was severely injured in the womb. This is what it has come to. There was a case in Louisiana where a woman, it was known that her baby would not have his skull. He would be born without a skull and would only live hours after birth. She could not legally get rid of that pregnancy. Why? Because of Louisiana's constitution that said that under no circumstance can you get rid of a pregnancy. And that woman was either faced with having this baby and possibly not being able to have any more children or flying to a different state. But see, Texas has a remedy for this. Texas and Missouri and some of these states have a remedy for this, that even if you fly out of the state, they will arrest you for flying out of the state and getting that service in a state that allows the service to be done. See, because it's not about what you do with your body. It's about controlling you. They are even trying to arrest people for going out of the state getting it done in states where it can be done. So Miss Thangs think that the only thing that Ronnie Q was concerned about was opioid crisis. Bitch, I don't know nobody who used no motherfucking opioids. Oh
Yeah, I don't
shit.
either.
I'm more
I
I'm more
don't.
concerned. Go ahead. Go ahead, ladies.
I
But
don't either.
but oh,
I don't know anybody that does opioids and things like that, but I think it's really tragic if if they are in a situation where they are violated and raped, or even having some type of incestual relationships, and if they found out that they are carrying a kid from this
Their
situation,
father,
they
their
cannot,
brother,
they can, right, anybody, and they cannot have the right to abort the situation
a
because
stranger.
the right, the trauma of because it's supposed to be created with love in a
Yes.
family situation. So why would you want to force somebody to have a child that came out of some type of traumatic event and think it's okay and make it illegal and make it so that they can't take care of that? See, the men. Oh, okay. Let me go ahead. Let me just be
And
quiet.
some of these people, some of these let's be clear, like in cases of molestation, they catch them early.
Right.
Unfortunately, there have been girls as young as 11 and 12 who have been impregnated by some perv who is pushing up on them. So now you're going to further ruin her childhood with this life growing
traumatize her
inside of
even
her
more.
and having to deal with that type of trauma. And oh, okay, well we can let her have the baby, and then it's still trauma, and then you're gonna let her grow a baby inside of her and then give the baby away, more trauma. Are you kidding me?
It
What
might
are we
not
But
be
my
your
doing here?
viable
but my
baby. At some point, it might have a baby that might have issues down the road. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
But
Miss
look,
Toby.
okay, but see, my concern is it amazes me how I'm talking about Republicans, how they so worried about the womb, and once the baby is here, they don't care
Mm-hmm.
about the children. They cut
Don't
programs. They don't want nobody to get help or anything. You just worry about an unborn baby, but once the baby get here, y'all don't give a shit.
don't give a damn
They don't
about
give a shit.
paying for pre-K, for paying for medical exam, paying for SNAP, paying for things like what WIC and all these types of things. They're talking about cutting food stamps. They said it's just equivalent to a day's worth of food stamps when most food stamps recipients get about $16 per day to eat off of for a family of four. $16 a day. I remember Gwyneth Paltrow thought that, who can't do that? I can do that. And then the bitch who has all the access to every fucking store in the world came back less than a week later and said, no, I really can't do that because I eat a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables in my diet. Now, this bitch can go to any farmer's market and buy fruits and vegetables on the cheap anywhere she wants to. But what about people who live in food desert where even if you find a fruit or a vegetable, it's all wilted and we know fruits and vegetables are price high. It's higher to eat good when you are eating fresh fruits and vegetables. I'm pretty sure Pam knows that. You have to
Yeah, I sure do.
concentrate.
I'm trying to grow them.
Yeah, but they say nothing about restaurants like McDonald's and things like that. But they say, oh well, you can't go into these places and buy already prepared hot food. So, but you can go to McDonald's though. McDonald's take EBT, but you can't listen. It's they don't want you to buy sugary drinks. You shouldn't be allowed to buy soda. Oh, that Sean Hannity said, I don't even know why they're allowed to buy steaks and seafood. How come they can't buy beans? I did good on beans, and I grew up healthy. He said you should have beans. Let's not forget that during the first Trump election, what's that weird looking dude, the little bug-eyed dude?
I don't know
Oh
which
God,
one. There's
I
so
forget
many
his
of
name. The skinny dude with the receding hairline. He said that they should have food boxes. He said that people who are on food stamps should get food boxes with whatever somebody choose to pick and put in that box and put on your doorstep. That's what you should use. But they got money to send all over the world for to support other nations in wars. Like Tupac said, they got money for wars but can't feed the poor. Ain't shit changed, and it's getting worse. Okay, I'm gonna finish this up. Hold on.
Legislators in California, Virginia, New York, who
Dr.
actually
Roberts,
filed this bill.
does Heritage and Project 2025 believe that a woman should be able to have an abortion if her doctor says that she needs one? It's a yes or no question.
Abortion is not health care.
So
Abortion
that is
is
a
the
no?
murder of a human being.
All right. Well, I disagree thoroughly with Dr. Kevin Roberts, but I am.
Now, he's not a doctor. This man is not a doctor. I mean, he said that's not health care. So yes, you must deliver an unviable baby. You must carry an unviable baby and have it die right there on the labor room table. Okay, so these are the things that are very important in this election. Okay, ladies, you want to comment?
Go ahead, Miss Toby, because I'll be take over spirit. I go ahead, baby.
No, I don't have anything to comment on.
Keena, he said he's I don't think I think he said he's not a doctor.
Yeah, he did say he's not a doctor. But okay, Miss
He's not a medical doctor. Okay.
Doctor know everything, but okay. Yeah, Miss Toby, thank you. Miss Toby passed the torch to me. Okay, this is how you're supposed to do things in a really nice panel. Miss Toby was her turn, and she said, "No, view, go." Yeah. That's not how you're supposed to do a panel. Okay, thank you, Miss Ronnie Q. Thank you, Miss Toby. Okay.
Truth Arena wants to know, how is Donald Trump good for the Black community? Would someone answer me, Ronnie Q?
I can't even answer that.
Miss Hampton, Ronnie Q, do you want me to leave? I never disrespected you. Never did I disrespect you, Miss Hampton? I said you might wind up being blocked. I didn't say it in a disrespectful way. I talked too quickly because I was getting a situation straight that you said, and I said bitch, and I apologized, and I said I didn't mean to call you bitch. Miss Hampton, you are more to welcome to go and come as you please, Miss Hampton. But when I see you continuously write comments, I say if you continue to write crazy things, you may end up being blocked, but you're not blocked. But what you're doing is you're trying to compare water to apples at this point. That comment about cocaine in the White House. There was so what you're not going to do is see
you're more than welcome. She's getting on my nerves.
You're more
I
than welcome.
saw her in the back chat. What the fuck, Miss Hampton? I don't even know. I keep thinking of Nova Hampton or the Hampton, not the Hampton with the yeah, I don't want no. I want women's. I don't know what.
Now, review. Somebody wants to know what the Black community did. I mean, what Trump has done for the Black community. So, Misunderstood, would you come up and review? I'm gonna put you on mute, and if you start talking over her, I'm gonna have to put you back. But stay up on the panel and just stay on mute and hear what she has to say. Because
Misunderstood. Wait, let me get my big old titties up. What?
Misunderstood. People want to know what you feel Trump has done for the Black community since you.
Why I gotta bring Misunderstood? I don't understand.
Anybody? Okay. Anybody?
Big titty lady coming over here to be with me? Like what?
Okay, behave.
I want to hear right here. Bring the big titty bitch over here.
Anybody? Oh, it doesn't have to be Misunderstood.
But I want to hear from Misunderstood.
Yeah, bring the big titty lady up. I'm not gonna say not one word.
Miss Pam, behave. I want to hear from Misunderstood.
I want to hear from the boat.
Misunderstood. Can you just put it in the chat? Then, if you don't want to come up here, but I really
come up here. And a view is a view. No, a view is a view. You can get down or you can stay up. I think we need to have a conversation. I want to hear
Let her come up. I won't
what
say
she has to
anything or
say.
I'll
Ronnie,
get down.
she said, I forgot. I don't want to fight with people anymore.
I
She
saw
can't
that,
even
and it
remember what
disappeared.
the fuck she's beefing about. Like, really? Are them titties really fucking up your goddamn
Miss
life and shit?
Pam,
Girl,
Miss
okay, I'm
Pam,
gonna get off.
I'm trying to see what her response is. I really want to hear what
I
her
do
thoughts on it.
too. Okay, let me be
Look,
quiet.
ever
Bring
since
your titties
Nixon,
up here, girl.
ever
I ain't
since
got
Nixon, ever since Nixon, there's been cocaine in the White House. Why y'all think Nixon war on drugs concentrated on marijuana and not cocaine? Nixon Kissinger like their tooth. Nixon and Kissinger like their tooth. I had no. This is alleged from someone writing in the chat. This is alleged. I did not know that. Okay. I'm sorry if I get on y'all nerves. Okay, well, I probably get on your nerves, but
come
yeah,
up here. Girl, come up
ladies,
here.
we're all
Don't be shy. We
Okay,
just
okay.
she
Well,
just
if Miss Understood not going to answer, T Latte, can you
tea
answer it?
latte.
Put it in the chat.
Just come up, girl. Understood. I ain't nobody on here. I'm just making fun and poking, girl. I have no beef with you, Misunderstood. Please understand. I really just come up in here. I'm not going to do
Misunderstood.
nothing or say nothing.
Misunderstood. If a view talks over you, I will do that.
You're gonna cut me
Until
off. We're
she
trying to people like bitch.
comes back.
Yeah, just come up. We need to hear what you have to say. Bring your big
Yes.
titties up on here. Okay.
Miss Pam, she ain't gonna come if you keep saying bring your titties.
I'm trying to connect with her. I got my big titties up on here. Misunderstood. I hope you just misunderstood. I'm just
Okay. The
Misunderstood.
question she was about.
What has Donald I was about to say Agent Orange, but I'm gonna respect you. What has he done for the black community?
That's
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
She coming up here. She coming up. Misunderstood. I ain't got no beef with you, child. It's just me. I'm an old crazy ass lady. I will be quiet when you come up
And
in here, girl.
and if she interrupts you, I'm going to put her
You
down
ain't gonna let me
until
on here.
you finish your statement, and
She
then
gonna
I'll
fuck
put her
me
back
up and
up.
cuss me out and do
I'm
a
not.
drag of me.
That's a loaded question. No, you said that that was one of your statements that he had done more for the black community and that he was good for the black community. So we just need you to expound. I don't think either party has done anything for the black people. I know a lot of people agree, but in this instance, we're comparing the two options that we have viable to vote for this November.
She said she support conservative values, pro-life. Well, honey, let me tell you something. It's a lot of Republican politicians that was cheating on their wives and got people pregnant and was paying for the abortions and claimed
paying
that
for the abortions
claimed that they were pro-life. If I stand corrected, didn't he allegedly pay somebody to get an abortion? If I'm not right, I heard
it's
about that.
alleged that he paid several people to get abortions.
Okay.
Okay, I am human first.
Tea latte. Exactly. So answer it, Misunderstood. Tea latte. I didn't you say the same thing? No.
I did not call MU disrespectful names. I didn't say anything. MU, did I say anything disrespectful to you? That wasn't me. That was Miss Pam.
That was me. I said it. That was me.
I am human. I did not. I don't talk to MU like that. I didn't say that.
I don't know the bitch. I don't give a fuck. She got
I don't
fake
see
titties.
I am human.
Yeah, I see them right there. They in the chat, Miss
I
Ronnie Q.
It must not be showing up
MU,
on mine.
wasn't it Miss Pam and not me?
Oh, there
I
it
wasn't
is.
calling you no name.
I said it. I told
No,
I
that
am
was
human.
Pam.
I said it. And who gonna check my ass? I said it. God the fuck. Yeah, I said it. I said
call her
whatever
no
y'all
disrespectful
said.
name. I'm the one told
you
Miss
to say
Pam to hush
nothing.
so she could come up here and say it because I want to see what she got to say.
Yeah, basically. The fuck. Miss Ronnie Q ain't kicked me off, so I can say whatever, but I go
Okay,
on mute.
Swirl Girl said he released blacks from prison, whereas Joe and Shamila, whoever that is, Scamila are known for imprisoning more blacks than anyone. I'm just saying, not than anyone. Joe Biden wrote the crime bill, but they were more blacks were arrested in prison during the Clinton administration. So there's you're factually incorrect there. So Camilla Harris was the DA in California, and yeah, she definitely has a bad track record. But so I want to know what he has
But
done.
she don't have 34 felonies though.
What Trump has done for Black people. Okay, so you're saying he was a typical celebrity whore who heard Kim Kardashian out. Had not this been presented by Kim Kardashian, and he's such a celebrity whore, such a simple trick ass nigga motherfucker that he then heard her out and allowed some Black people to get out of prison. Okay, none of his staff people brought this to his attention. It had to come from Kim Kardashian and a photo op for him to do these things. Swirl girl, let's keep it real. Let's really keep it real, Swirl girl. Do you think
MU coming up here or no?
No, she's not coming up here.
Okay, good. Fuck her. Anyway, let me change my avatar. Fuck that big titty bitch.
I can fight for myself. You're good. We don't want you to fight. We want you to state your position. Nobody wants you to fight, MU. We want you to state your position. Donald Trump is nothing but a voice for far right conservatives, moms for liberty, and those who marched in Charlottesville. That is all. That's it. That's all.
Trump was more professional than Joe. He was childish.
Yeah.
Yes, I think. Who said Trump was more professional than Joe?
That damn Miss Hampton. Look, you must have you been drinking today? Because I know how sometimes you love to hit the bottle. Sometimes, Miss Hampton, have you been drinking today?
Oh Lord. Hey Liz.
Now what I can say is Joe did look tired. Okay, I don't know about weak. He might have been tired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too, ADK. I hope to see you soon. Yeah, I do believe in traditional values. I do, but I'm ratchet too. So
yeah, but you know, to each his own. Just because I had to correct that
what is
comment.
traditional values?
You posted.
Well, I'm just for me, as far as just getting growing up, doing whatever, taking the trash out, being thankful, saying thank you, please, being in whatever. I don't know, and just going to school and then going to high school or college or technical schools. Everybody doesn't have to go to college. And then, Miss Toby, can I finish? And then not being fucking get goddamn kids and shit, not getting knocked up, having goddamn 9 kids, and being 70 and not being focused. Now I'm not saying
hold on,
wedlock. I'm saying not having kids out of wedlock. I do not believe in that. If you don't have a goddamn husband, you should not be out here having goddamn 9 and 12 kids. That's traditional values, Miss Toby. And you are a believer of that. How many kids you got, Miss Toby? You got the same number of goddamn kids that I got. 0.
I have 9.
So you are the same as me with that shit. You cute little Toby face girl.
Listen, I believe that people have the right to have their traditional values. I see no solution. She said, I see no solutions. Truth and Reason said, y'all just threw reason out the window. One thing I noticed about you Democrats is that you are worse than a cult when it comes to
Did I say I was a Democrat?
People. Wait a minute.
Did I say I was a Democrat?
Let me finish reading. You guys need to focus on the botch job sloppy. Wait a minute. The botch ass job sloppy sleepy Joe is doing. Okay. So exactly. Who says that we are Democrats? Who says that we are not independents? Who says we are not in the Green Party? Right. It's just like a whole lot of assumptions. But we're concentrating on the job that the conservatives want to do over on the whole rule of democracy. That's what we're concentrating on. Okay, instead of pointing out what's going on right now, you talk about Trump, who is not president right now. Let's just talk about your president current work. Okay, see, our president current works. See, our president tries to get things through Congress. See, our president could have done like Trump and have a whole shitload of executive orders, some which were unconstitutional and could not be enacted. See, our president could have pretended, much like Trump did, that he could change any rule, any law by making executive orders. So our Trump, our president is working through a Congress full of Marjorie Taylor Greens and Lauren Boebert and the rest of these sham artists and what's the dude from Ohio who wouldn't even sit for a subpoena, but then wants to bring up Merrick Garland for not sitting for a subpoena, for not answering a subpoena. What's the dude from Ohio who was over the university when the male wrestlers were being SA'd by their coach? See, Jordan, Jim Jordan is his name. So see, we don't see see, that's what our president is working with through motherfuckers like him. The same thing that President Barack Obama worked with, people who are going to say no just because it's coming from a Democrat. But the Affordable Care Act had many of the things that Romney's bill had. Even Romney voted against his own bill because it was ushered in by a Black Democrat. Let's be clear. So this is what we're doing. While people are trying to get laws passed and making the Republicans, a Republican group also has a issue before the Supreme Court about student loan forgiveness. See, these are the things that our Democrat has done for us. And it's just not for Black people. That was for all people. But you see, you have Republicans who feel that it's too expensive to forgive student loan debt, but it's not too expensive to uphold all these wars and stuff that we're sending money to out of our country. Who they feel that it is too expensive to pay for Social Security, therefore we must make it private. And but it is not too expensive to give tax cuts to those who don't need another dime in their coffers, who don't pay tax dollars for these roads and bridges that are falling down, that they export all their goods and services for. No, the regular man should pay taxes to get these things fixed. Thus, the shit is falling down. Thus, there are more bridges that need repair in the United States than there are real good, safe operating bridges. See, a lot of you guys don't know that. You guys hear people say that they want an infrastructure bill, and nobody has the time, the will, and wants to spend the money. But everybody is so surprised when bridges fall and collapse and all this type of shit. Let's be real. Okay, the rich people aren't paying for any of this shit that they use just like us. Anyway, so there would be money for Social Security if they were collecting as much tax dollars from the millionaires and billionaires at the same degree that they collected from the common man. Anytime Warren Buffett said that his secretary paid more of her money into taxes than he did, there's a problem.
That's highway
he's not
robbery.
the only one. Yeah.
That's highway robbery. But another thing I want to say, as far as the student loans is concerned, wouldn't us not paying it, we don't have that burden anymore, wouldn't that also put more money into the economy anyway?
The economy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. instead of people having, deferments, or some people, they default on their loans. But
Yeah, it frees up. It
So
frees up more money.
I'll just hush.
Okay, that's okay.
and I can
Yeah, it frees up more.
promise you, Ronnie, no one in this chat benefited from those tax cuts.
I
But
sure
Biden
did.
is sending money. I'm confused, and I have never worked this hard when Trump was in office. Yeah, because most of the time that Trump was in office, you were in a pandemic lockdown. So I'm sure you
Dumbass,
haven't.
that's stupid as shit.
I'm sure you haven't.
We was locked up. We was locked in the house.
Who worked hard that long at all? Because he didn't do anything, and the whole United States was under lockdown. Of course you didn't. Who you telling?
The only people that worked hard was the doctors and the nurses that had to,
the first responders and the graveyard and
the sick and family members couldn't even visit their loved ones to visit them when they died because of him. Because he lied and he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He's incompetent.
Couldn't even go to funerals. People were getting buried in mass graves. Oh, but you don't want to talk about that because you didn't have to work hard.
The fuck?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. I know I'm not taking away anything that you all have said because that is true and it's facts. Now, with me and my career, because I already had myself set up that I was working from remote locations, I never experienced any of that. I only had to process the paperwork for people that passed and had added insurance and things like that. I worked on the other end of it, receiving the paperwork and stuff like that. So I was always able to keep my work going because I never missed a beat. But I never realized what y'all are saying and how y'all are verbalizing it now. I appreciate this conversation because I always said, well, why are people doing all this and stuff? And I knew because people died from this COVID thing. This thing was very serious. But for me, and I never got the COVID until maybe 5 years later. I never got it. So some people don't even realize it. But I realized my work increased. And so I didn't have to go back to the office because, first of all, they didn't want us in the office. They did not want that. So my workload increased. And then I had other things going on in my life. So I had boxes of stuff that I had to deal with and address with working in a human resource arena and also the accounting portion to pay the bills for that. So I never knew that. So thank you all for having this conversation right now because I didn't even know. But I know people that died. I knew it, but it never impacted me on the social media portion. In my job, yeah, but not in social media. And y'all are really bringing this out here. So I don't want y'all to forget what they're talking about.
Yeah, so I really want us to continue to have this conversation because a lot of people want to live in la la land and pretend that these things aren't happening, but these things are really happening, and people need to understand what we're facing in this coming election is all I'm saying. So Miss Thangs, honey, Ronnie Hugh can talk about many of things, and the opioid crisis is far one of the few things that I really give one damn about in this election cycle. Girl, go sit your ass down. You cannot converse on anything that I was talking about. So go sit your sorry ass down. And if you ever decide to play my shit again, you will be struck exponentially, or however you say that word. Say the word.
You said it right the first time.
Exponentially. Yeah.
But so Miss Thangs, before you get on here sitting at the goddamn grown folks goddamn table, bitch, you need to make sure that you can clean the goddamn plate and stuff and put your goddamn napkin and table thing into the trash. Getting yourself up off the goddamn kiddie table. Okay, we talking about grown folks conversation over here, not that other motherfucker, but you know what I'm saying? So don't come over here fucking with us over here trying to think you're gonna step in here because you just dragged the goddamn burglary, bitch. You dragged goddamn burglary
all the time with them goddamn turkey wings coming out the goddamn turkey hut and shit. Because she's obese and overweight, and your ass look like a little fluffy girl too. Okay, so you weren't doing nothing but dragging your own motherfucking self. We saw that. So come bigger and better. Okay, y'all motherfucker umbrella motherfucking niggas and whatever the fuck y'all doing over there. Don't come over here fucking with us. We ain't fucking with y'all. Y'all landed on us. This goddamn Plymouth Rock. Don't come over here with that fuck shit and don't be fucking up goddamn Ronnie Q's live, bitch. This supposed to be a fun live. This is a goddamn Saturday live, bitch. I wasn't even ready for this fuck shit. Okay, all right. I'll talk to y'all later. Like I'm bound down and shit. Like I'm goddamn lovely love and shit.
Okay, Miss Kobe.
Ronnie Q, look at Fran's comment. What she said.
Okay, let me find Fran's comment.
Goodness.
As a postal worker, I contracted. Oh, gal, March 2020, leaving me with long scarring. I also lost quite a few friends because of it. That's the comment that you wanted me to see.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Miss Thang, opioid crisis does not affect us in the numbers. It affects them folks. And stand up talking about socialized medicine. You know nothing about that either. Yes. Universal health care and socialized medicine are two different things, Miss Thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's it. That's all.
Well, this was a lot. This was a lot on a Saturday. We weren't really ready for this, but we always stay ready. You don't have to get ready. We stay ready. Miss Ronique just popped on this motherfucker. She didn't say hello to nobody. Did she play the pussy on the table? I mean, the putty cat on the table video. I don't even know. She just hopped on here just like. I was like, oh shit. I was ready. I was here for it.
Okay, so
okay, Monica, I'm gone.
I thank you, Miss Toby, for coming up here. I appreciate it. I thank Toya for coming up here. Babs, I thank you for coming up here. Red Wings Hockey, I thank you for showing up. Who else was here? Views of you. Kenna H, thank you for coming up here. I really appreciate all of you guys for coming up here and conversing with me. I thank all of you in the audience. And MU, I thank you for coming up here. Unfortunately, you didn't get to say much, but I thank you guys for being here. And yeah, that's all I got. Don't play with me, simple bitch. I'm not the one to be played with. Okay, so thank you guys. I appreciate you. You may want to stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to. Go play with those simple holes because Ronnie Hugh is not one. All right. Thank you guys. And if you want to support the channel, $ Ronnie Q. I will see you guys again on Monday. I believe Faith Yaya is live. So I am going to go check her out and see if she's live. Have a good remainder of your weekend. God bless you. Make sure you vote. Make sure you share information. And make sure we continue to have these discussions. Bye-bye.